Hey everyone, welcome to Snarf Talk with Chris.
And Jerry.
And this is our podcast where we give you a behind-the-scenes look as we create a comic book.
We're going to talk about TV, movies, comic books, and hopefully have a lot of guests, other writers, creators, and friends.
Check us out at snarfcomics.com. You can check out our blog and follow along with everything we got going on. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Snarf Comics. And please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes.
Enjoy the episode. Here we is.
All right, we're back.
Number 35.
Is this 35?
It's 35, man.
Oh, that's pretty exciting.
It is. I was thinking about it again today.
On the road to 50.
I was thinking about, like, what, honestly, can you say that anybody has ever done, like, 30 weeks in a row consistently?
Like, gone to work?
Well, yeah, that work does not count. That does not count. I don't like work. But I do like this podcast.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's not, I guess it's not necessarily that we've done it every day for 30 weeks, but once a week.
Yeah.
I think it's 30 because we started like weekly in January, didn't we?
I don't know. For the first while there, we were going like once every other week.
It was like holiday stuff.
That was back in our novice days.
Boy, were we bad.
But when we became professionals, it's all changed.
A little tip for everyone. Don't go back and listen to the first 5. You don't need them.
I mean,
you don't need them.
I think the content's fine. It's just the audio quality. It's pretty rough.
Not good.
Yeah.
We thought we were awesome.
Yeah. Well, we were.
A lot of people use those blue Yetis, but we just didn't use it efficiently.
No.
Or correctly.
So we got a little bit of excitement this week.
We do have a little bit of excitement.
We got a first timer here.
So we got a first time listener within, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Definitely 2 weeks.
In the last 2 weeks, this man just discovered the whole Snarf Talk, what would we call it? Movement?
Yeah.
It's a movement, basically. And he just discovered it, fell in love completely, head over heels.
Alice, he fell through the looking glass.
The rabbit hole.
The rabbit hole.
Yeah.
They say that, wasn't it the looking glass?
No, she falls in a rabbit hole.
But it's called Alice Through the Looking Glass.
Not the show.
The book.
Is it?
I don't know. I think so.
I think you made that up.
Any case.
Anyway, he's fell in love with us all over again. He's been in love with me for quite a while, I think.
Accurate.
Yeah. And
man, he just said, "Hey, I'm really interested in this podcast business. I would like to come hang out, just watch the master's work.
I just want to sit over in the corner and watch you guys speak to each other."
Yeah.
Well, that's weird, Tim.
I wanted one episode to kind of get familiar with how things work.
It doesn't work like that here.
No, we're going to throw you right in the fire. So who we have is Mr. Tim McDonald here on the show with us.
And it's great to be here.
Who we've mentioned on the podcast several times. I don't know if you've heard your name mentioned on the podcast.
I have.
I just talked about your wife, I think, on the last one. On the very last one, or the one. It was the last one. It comes out this week. So last week's episode. Yeah, I talked about her because she got me super awesome deal on a Roomba.
Oh, really? You got one, huh?
I did, and it's life-changing and amazing.
Yeah.
We've named him Romeo, and
we have not.
Romeo
have not named ours.
I think you're supposed to name it in the app, aren't you?
Yeah, the app tells you to name it, and the boys love naming everything.
I don't think we named ours either, though, because we're adults.
It is life-changing, though.
It's great.
But she, out of nowhere, this is the weird part. So I was literally looking at Roombas and like any robot vacuum, like on Sunday night, and the Sunday night prior to Amazon Prime Day. And I was looking at them on Best Buy because I had a Best Buy gift card. I talked about this in the last episode, so this is like a recap. But I had like $273 to use off of a gift card. And the very next morning, I'm like, I'm buying one. I'm getting on Best Buy. We're getting one. I don't care what it is. That morning, she sent me a text, and she's like, hey, I know you were looking at these a little while ago. Don't know if you're still on the market, but Amazon Prime's got really good deals. And I looked it up, and it's like the 890, the Roomba 890, whatever. And they marked it down from $480 to $299. And I was like, holy shit, like, how do I get this with a Best Buy gift card? Well, Amazon will let you like switch over your gift cards to an Amazon gift card, they take $5 from you, which I don't blame them. Switch it over to an Amazon gift card, and I got like a $480 Roomba for $30.
$30?
Yeah.
I find it odd that she's out promoting these because she was very against the Roomba.
See,
This was my doing.
Rianne was like me. I was against the Roomba.
Oh, yeah.
It was Marley that really wanted one. But I kept saying, I'm like, the dog's going to, like, even though our dog has never shit in the house, I'm like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the Roomba's going to run it over. You've seen the videos. And I'm like, this is going to be terrible. Plus, my dog, like, freaks out anytime a vacuum cleaner runs. So I thought, well, we're gone at work. He's going to be sitting there barking at this thing. But he doesn't care at all. It doesn't bother him.
I thought the same thing with Zeus, but he doesn't care about it at all.
Well, the overall recap of this, what have we had it like a week with Romeo the Roomba? He's amazing.
It's great.
He does everything for
you
us.
get home from work and it's clean.
Disgusting how much is in it.
It's really amazing. I had a really hard time believing that it would do a thorough job. And
It really does.
Somehow it does.
I actually, on Prime Day, bought a regular vacuum cleaner. I already had a Roomba, but you got to have another one, you know.
So you're like a man.
But I bought one of them Dyson ball ones.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Even after the Roomba does its fantastic job, I use that thing, and it still picks up like a whole thing of
Yeah.
dog
Dysons
hair.
are amazing vacuums.
I think it's
We've
just
been a Dyson family for a while.
yeah. So anyway,
I did see this new Dyson thing they got, which is just a light. Have you seen that? It's like a desk lamp,
what?
and it's like
Wait, like a legitimate light.
a desk lamp.
Okay.
But it has like it's easy to like move and reposition, and the lighting like changes based on the environment. They're like $899
Because that's been something that has been weighing on me my
Plaguing
whole
mankind.
life. Yeah, I can't move my light
I
well
can't
enough.
get accurate and ambient lighting.
Who would worry about that? Like, I need to move my desk lamp a little bit easier than this one.
It sounds like one of those terrible infomercials where somebody's trying to read and they just like everything goes wrong.
Stupid. Yeah, like
Until the Dyson lamp comes along and
the whole
revolutionizes
desk falls
it.
over, and they're just like,
Have you ever tried to click on your light and then the whole desk fell over?
well, now the what is it? A Dyson?
Dyson.
The Dyson desk lamp.
Speaking of desks falling over, last night I was on the phone and my daughter came running in. She's like, Dad, Dad, Dad. She's trying to say something to me. And I'm like yelling at her. I'm like, I'm on the phone. And so about 5 minutes later, I get off the phone. I go in there and our entire gigantic dresser had completely fallen over.
Yeah, you sent me a picture of it.
And luckily it hit against the bed, which like propped it up. But she was under it.
Oh my gosh,
But the bed stopped it and she crawled out. Completely unscathed.
that's unbelievable.
Oh, yeah. It was
That's
crazy.
really bad.
So I'm like going to tie them all into the wall somehow.
Don't they sell them?
Yeah, they
with
come
a lot
with a
of them?
dresser, but
Yeah.
it's like one of those things you get.
Yeah,
and
you
just
throw
it in
away.
the garbage. You're
Well,
like,
see,
no.
and that's the thing. My dad's told me forever, like especially when we moved into the new house, he's like, "You better secure them to the wall. Boys are going to climb on them dressers." No, they're not. And then you send me that thing,
Yeah.
and now I feel like all of our dressers are going to fall on the children.
Your dad's a smart man.
Well, yeah,
Mink trapping expert.
he is a mink trapping expert, and he's the one who just brought me 9 more chickens today.
Oh, God.
So I had 7 out of 20 left. So the mink had, dispatched 13 of them. But now I've got, he brought me 8 hens and 1 rooster. So I have a rooster now too.
Oh, God.
Does he crow
We
every
call
morning?
him Big Ricky. That's what the boys named him tonight. And I was like, I'll go with that. We're going to name him Big Ricky. And Graham just calls him Boss. But everyone else is going to call him Big Ricky.
I'm just going to drive by your house every morning and then just post on Hey Mazan complaints
about
like,
the rooster.
I can hear this rooster from Mazan.
That'd be good.
So anyway, that was a piss poor introduction of our guest.
Yeah, it was. So Tim McDonald, me and him, went to high school together. He works for Hogan Walker. Aaron's Hogan Walker. What do you do?
Sell equipment.
Sell equipment. Do you still do the whole, what's that called? AMS?
No, I did that for like 6 years and then switched to
Oh,
sell.
I didn't know you weren't doing that.
Tim is the lifeblood of my operation.
The heartbeat.
Because every time in the fall or the spring, about 2 times a year, I call him in a panic. I'm like, something is not working.
And usually I
Like-
call him back a half hour later and he's already figured it out.
That's how it always happens. He calls me back like half an hour. I'm like, never mind, I figured it out. He's like, I love getting phone calls from you, and I just let them go to voicemail because I know in about a half an hour
You're gonna get
it figured out.
I don't on purpose.
No, I know.
Hell of a salesman. Hell of a salesman.
I'll figure it out.
But no, he definitely has helped me a lot over the years.
That's really cool. So how did you, what made you stumble upon Snarf Talk?
Well, you obviously told me about it.
Yeah, I
when
know,
you
but-
first started doing
And
it.
you also obviously ignored us.
Make sure pull that, stay up close to that thing.
And I feel bad for ignoring you originally.
There's no need to feel bad.
Especially since your sister-in-law and brother-in-law is he technically your brother-in-law?
No, he's not. He's
Why is he-
married to my sister-in-law.
How does that work?
He'd still be your brother-in-law, right?
I was wondering this the other
We're both
day.
very
Oh, wait.
adamant and in agreement that we're not brother-in-law.
Okay.
No, but like legally you would be.
I don't know. I don't know if you are.
I don't think so. Like,
I never thought
his
this
wife is my
hard to think.
sister-in-law,
Yeah.
and my
Yeah.
wife is his sister-in-law, but we're not brothers-in-law.
Why?
I don't
You're-
think that's how it works.
I don't
It's
think
a
it's how it
married
works
union.
either.
You'd be brothers-in-law by law.
I don't know.
If we were more cordial to one another, we'd probably call each other brothers.
But anyway,
He's
point
one of our
is,
main listeners.
Both of them.
Yes.
Both of them are big
so
listeners.
I was reluctant to listen at first, and I don't know why. For one, they're long. It's a time commitment.
I was going to say two things. One, because they are really long,
Mm-hmm.
but with that length and driving around, it's perfect. Anybody that drives around a lot, I think long podcasts are perfect. Like I have a 35-minute commute to work. That's all I listen to. 35 minutes of a podcast on the way.
No.
35 minutes.
I like
on
the
way
idea
home.
of starting one and finishing it at the same time. Like you're
Oh.
gonna miss something, And
Yeah.
I do a lot of half-hour driving, so it's like this is gonna take 4 trips or 5 to listen to.
See, and I like that. But another reason I thought that most people don't listen to it is because we are centered around like comic book entertainment.
I think that's one of the
Superhero
biggest
entertainment.
misunderstandings because a lot of people say that to me. They're like, I just don't really like comic books, so I wouldn't listen. I'm like, well, we talk about all kinds of shit.
Right. But to be fair, we've promoted it that way as
Yeah,
well.
that's fine.
Which
Whatever.
makes sense.
And nothing against comic books, never really been my thing. Got
Yeah.
no problem with it, but that was probably another hold up. That's just not my forte.
Don't hold back, Tim. Tell us what you really think.
But as it turns out, I probably am more interested in them than I first thought after listening. And you guys talk about a ton of other good stuff.
Yeah.
So-
especially since a lot of the comic book related stuff we talk about is more based around like the movies and TV shows,
Yes.
which are a little easier entry point for people.
I agree. I mean, especially in today's day and age. I mean, that's all people really take in is that type of
Right.
movie. I mean, it's forced in your face to watch some sort of superhero comic book movie. Some people may not know that it came from a comic book, but it's coming from a comic book. That's a big thing that I think you could take away from this podcast is that a lot of the stuff that you had no idea was originally a comic book, you can find out from us.
Oh, I would agree
because
with
we're
that.
super smart. But originally, like when this first came out, there was a lot of people that looked at us funny.
Oh yeah.
They were like, most people did. Some people didn't know what a podcast was. The people that did know what a podcast was like, why are you doing that? I mean, it doesn't make any sense why you would do that.
The other thing is I kind of had my set podcasts already.
Yeah.
You know? Like I drive a set amount of time, and this is
Yeah.
what I'm going to
I was
listen
going
to.
to ask you, what podcast do you listen to?
My favorite for a long time has been a Malcolm Gladwell podcast called Revisionist History.
Is he the 10,000 hours guy? Is that Malcolm Gladwell? No.
No.
I don't know. I don't know who he is. I'm gonna have to
that's
look him up.
not one of his works, but he references that.
Oh,
like The
okay.
Tipping Point was the first book by him that I
Okay.
ever read.
Anyway, revisionist history. What's that one about? I've never heard of that one.
Just things that have happened in the past that maybe we remember incorrectly, and he kind of dives back into them, and
I've definitely heard of that one. That one sounds cool.
it's very, very good.
He did write. He wrote that book, Outliers. That's where the 10,000 hours thing is.
Okay.
You
Yep.
need 10,000 hours to be an expert at anything or something like
Yep.
that.
Oh, that's the guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking there was a work actually called 10,000 Hours.
I think the
but-
book was called Outliers.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan talks about it all the time.
Has he been on the podcast? He's got to.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Has he?
What else? What else do you listen to?
Freakonomics.
Oh yeah, I listen to that one.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to that in a long time. I really liked it at first.
I've only listened to it.
Kind of started
times.
to get a little political, and then I kind of
Yeah, I would agree.
not that I care, but I'm just not.
We're not political people,
No,
Not really.
I wouldn't have to say that at all.
and I don't. And has basically no part in any of our podcasts.
No,
For
you don't
any
listen.
discussion.
That's one of the things I like about it.
Yeah, and because I mean, what do we have? What do we have that has any weight in what political anything is in the world right now? Like, we're just two guys that
That
wanna
isn't
talk
even my
about-
point. My point is it's all bullshit. So there's
It
no
is.
reason to play the game.
That's what I mean. Like,
Or
what,
even think
what
about
do
it.
we
Agree
even
with
need
that.
to speak about it for?
Yeah, you don't listen to Joe Rogan, huh? That's another
not
long,
regularly.
long podcast.
Is
It is
it?
long.
See, I don't like short podcasts. They drive me crazy. I don't like feeling rushed through a format quickly.
And we tried it. We were trying to cut these down to like an hour, hour and a half at the longest. It's impossible for us to do.
Yeah,
We can't even basically get through one thought in an hour.
yeah.
I mean, really, it's super hard to get through what we want to talk about in an hour and have it worthwhile. It's not what we do.
So we always talk about this whenever we have a new guest on. So I'm going to ask you. So me and Jerry are obviously are nerds, and we've talked about in the past like what through our lives, through our childhood, got us interested in the movies we like or whatever like that. Everybody is a nerd for something, whether it be comic books or movies or music or anything, comedy. Is there anything that you have like that got you into nerdy pursuits growing up? Like anything you remember that jumps out at you? Anything you got obsessed with?
I mean, it's a pretty cliched answer because I grew up as a farmer. My dad's a farmer, but I guess farm toys. I was pretty
Oh,
nerdy
yeah.
about that. I mean, I've got
Oh, that's definitely
hundreds and hundreds of farm toys.
Still? You
Oh,
still
yeah.
have all of them?
A lot of them are in tubs in the basement, but
At your house, though, or are they at your mom's?
some of each. I mean, if you walk in my kitchen, above my cabinets is all toys. You know, that's kind of nerdy, I guess.
You used to be into the toy show?
Oh,
in
yeah.
Seneca.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's I remember that.
Yeah, I think there
you
was
guys
quite a
in-
few people in our grade that were.
Were you guys in the same class?
Yeah.
I don't know why. Obviously, I knew Jerry earlier because we grew up as
Yeah.
when we were little. But I totally remember Tim a lot more in high school than I remember you.
Really?
In high school. Oh, yeah.
It's because he's taller.
It definitely could be. I looked right over the top of you.
Yeah, I was just.
I think Tim might be our
Skating
officially our
through.
tallest podcast guest.
What an honor.
Well, how tall's dude?
He's not taller than.
He's not?
No. I mean, he's pretty tall. Don't get
It
me
all
wrong.
gets blurry when I look up to all of you freaks. Yeah, you are pretty tall. How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, you
Yeah.
are? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that. Gosh.
There's like
I am
only one other
bad
person
at
we could
judging.
ever have on the podcast that would be taller. That would be like Nick Schaefer.
Robert Rexer.
Oh, yeah. He's pretty tall.
He's 6'8".
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really tall. I don't think he'd ever be on the podcast though.
Oh, I think he would.
Robert? Yeah. I don't think so. Him and I are on the park board together, so I can ask him if he
Yeah,
wants to.
ask him.
We don't ever have park board meetings, so I'll see him around one of these days, I guess.
So did you ever get into any sort of superhero comic book, quote unquote, classic nerd stuff when you were younger? Star Wars?
Anything?
I appreciated Star Wars, but never got real.
No. Thought we might
Deep
get
I
into
think
it.
the one thing that I know of you that you have a deep love for is Seinfeld.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that totally counts.
Yeah, and that's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm kind of
Seinfeld-
obsessed with that.
Yeah,
when you were
are-
talking about your favorite TV shows and you were talking about Seinfeld, I was hollering at my radio.
Oh, is
Oh,
that
really?
what one of your beefs was on that episode?
Not a
Why?
beef. Not
That
a
was
beef.
like, I was gonna say it was like my number 1 or 2.
It was 3.
Was it?
I can't
What did
believe.
I have above that?
I didn't even have it
I
in my
can't
top
believe
10.
you put The Sopranos as number 1.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
expected
love-
Breaking Bad from you number 1 the
Yep,
whole way.
that's what it was. I had Sopranos, Breaking Bad, Seinfeld.
Yep.
That was
That's a great top 3 though.
Well, I don't even remember what mine were.
Firefly,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Firefly was in there, which I had Firefly in my top 10.
Doctor Who, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, Doctor Who.
See, and
Scrubs, maybe. I don't
Gosh,
remember.
how hard of a decision is that? Because Doctor Who changed my life. for a while there. For many, many years, I just was obsessed with Doctor Who, and that's all I watched. And it landed at like number 5, I think. Had to have.
Something like that.
So
after listening to that episode, I tried coming up with my own list.
Think about that
it is
stuff.
very hard to do. Very, very hard
Seton
to do.
Top had
list,
Dateline as his number one show that he sent
If
us.
you would have allowed Jeopardy, that would have been number one.
He had that in there though too. I think he had
did.
Dateline above Jeopardy.
David's going to be so upset that Tim's on the podcast before him.
I've invited him.
I have to tell you a funny little secret. So when I was driving earlier today, I actually listened to that episode, the one after the TV shows where David has his rebuttal.
Oh, yeah.
So after I listened to it, I called David, and I very rarely, I see him all the time, but I rarely call him just in the middle of the day.
So he's like, what's wrong?
And if he actually answered. That's a shock for one.
That's rare.
But anyway, we ended up talking for like 45 minutes about this podcast.
Oh my God.
And we made a pact at the end of the conversation that we wouldn't tell you guys. And here I am, like,
my God,
8 hours later, that I broke the pact and told everybody.
You literally told hundreds of thousands of listeners,
millions possibly.
Well, we're almost there, but not quite.
But he's gonna be angry.
That's funny. He won't hear it for a couple weeks, so you got some time.
Quite funny when he does.
You might want to tell him on your own. Before
No.
That is funny. Why would you make a pact to not tell us that you're talking about our show? We know you both like.
We don't want you to get a big head.
Okay.
It can't get much bigger.
So I told you when I got here that my daughter insulted me when I left the house.
Yes. What about?
So I was very dirty from work and I had to change clothes. And when I walked out to leave, Emma told me, "You look like Uncle David."
Why?
I have no idea. I can't figure it out.
Why did she say that?
I can't figure it out.
Why would she ever say something like that to you? Holy cow.
It's better than every time I leave to go do a podcast, my kids go, "Dad, are you going to do a podcast?" Yeah. Yes. They're just like so happy that I'm leaving the house so that they can lay in bed with Marley.
All of my children are probably going to be in the bed with Amy when I get home. It's like a punishment. I tell her that every night. I was like, well, Mom's going to punish me again tonight because I'm going to do a podcast, so all the boys will be in the bed. Graham won't be. Graham always goes to his crib, but the other two will probably be in there. And then I'm usually too lazy to do anything about it, so I'll either sleep in their bed or mine, or like on the couch.
Yeah, that happens a lot at my house.
But whatever.
So based on, it's so exciting because based on what you've told me, what I know is you have a whole gigantic world of things that you have not experienced.
Yeah.
This is true.
That through this podcast you're going to get to experience for the first time, which some of these things I would kill. I would kill to go back and be able to experience for the first time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. So it was before I listened to this podcast. I had never seen any of the Marvel movies, any of them.
That's a travesty. I don't even know how that's possible.
So
serious? I didn't know this.
I can tell you why. It has changed since. I started at the beginning, and I started.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, you have to.
But here's why. I was thinking about this. Why I had never watched them.
This is an interesting take. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
So, you know the movie No Country for Old Men?
Oh yeah,
came out in 2007 probably.
Yeah.
I remember the same year Transformers came out. And I just saw those movies as being on two separate ends of the spectrum. One of them has this great plot, great story. There's not even music in the movie. It's just a great movie with a great story.
Yeah.
And then Transformers is the opposite. You know, there's a very weak story. It's built on special effects.
It's a garbage movie.
Terrible movie. So,
although I do like Optimus Prime.
So at that point, I decided, I like movies with plot and story, and I'm not a fan of special effects. You know? Well, then, like, the next year, Iron Man comes out, and it's like, yep, that's another movie like Transformers. And I was wrong. It took me 10 years to figure it out, and I was very wrong. But that's why I just kind of...
I didn't
take a stance against them, but
you did.
Yeah, I kind of did.
No, you were like a highfalutin art critic. You're like, I like real movies.
Well, but I can understand
kind of
that.
Pretentious a little bit about it.
I mean, whatever. We've all been there.
I don't have time to watch all the movies that I want, so I'm going to pick the movies with a good plot.
Especially now.
But as it turns out, those movies have very good plots.
And this is this is what Chris and I's advocacy is all about, is like the story of comic books. Like any of the story that you get out of comic books is probably better than most of the story that you get especially in a who did Transformers?
Michael Bay.
Yeah, a Michael Bay movie.
Right.
Give me a break.
No.
Michael Bay does.
To be
crazy
fair,
things.
there's plenty of comic book movies that are trash.
Sure.
Right.
You know, like Justice League,
Yes.
for one.
Yes.
Terrible story. I would say Captain Marvel, in my opinion, is a very weak movie.
I wouldn't call it trash, but it's weak because it's
It's just generic action movie, special effectsy kind of movie.
and it's a generic
Now, where it fits in is
Opening.
where it's part of the cinematic universe of
yes.
20 movies.
You have to
so
have
it's
her.
a puzzle piece.
Right.
And that's what's different about this. But if you take a standalone like Justice League or, you know, I don't know, something like that, yeah, it's a special effects kind of meh movie, you know.
And Batman shoots guns and kills people, and that's stupid.
But I mean, we don't talk enough about all the other kinds of amazing movies that we love.
Yeah.
We should talk more about them. Like, I'm a huge fan of the more pretentious kind of cinema too. I love those types of movies, you know. I love Tarantino. I love No Country for Old Men. If I had a top 10 list, have we done our top 10 movies?
Yeah.
Like general movies?
That's what Tim and I were just talking about because he was listening to our top 10 movies, and I've got what number was it? It was number 3 or 4, where I had Eternal Sunshine for the Spotless Mind.
Oh.
Jim Carrey's in it.
But see, I hadn't heard that episode when we were talking about that.
Oh, you hadn't?
I had just
I
sent
thought
you that clip of Jim Carrey doing
Right.
Jack Nicholson.
I love that movie.
Oh, I thought you had.
No,
watched
not
it
at
because-
that time.
Oh, I thought you did.
I had
Well,
been listening and listened to lots of other episodes, but
Yeah.
that's why, like, probably 4 or 5 days later, it clicked that
Yeah.
that was on your list. You know?
Oh,
So
okay.
texted
I
you
was
again.
under the impression that you'd already listened to it. That's why I was like spilling the beans on how that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh,
And
it's a
then
phenomenal movie.
it is. It's an incredible movie, and the writing and the storyline of that is just it's unreal. Like I don't feel like you'll find another movie, and it's incredible because I think Jim Carrey is amazing, like absolutely amazing in that movie. And anybody that says like I could never watch him in a serious movie because it's Jim Carrey and he's ridiculous,
Yeah, watch that movie.
you got to
and
watch
you'll
that
change
movie.
your mind.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
It's
okay,
one of
I
my
was gonna
favorite
say.
movies as well.
Have you seen the
Unbelievable.
clip of him doing Jack Nicholson in The Shining?
But it's
no.
it's not actually him. It's called shoot, what's that called? I got to look it up again cuz you sent it to me, but it's actually a CGI
Right.
rendering of his face. It's not really
Oh.
him. But it's it is him, but it's fake.
No,
But you could see Jim Carrey doing that is the
Yeah.
thing.
That's the one thing about like the absolute flood of Marvel movies that we've gotten over the last 10 years is you do only have time to watch so many movies, especially when you have kids.
Yeah.
So I miss a lot of non-comic booky related movies, which is a shame for sure. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff I feel like that's come out in the last 5 years that I haven't seen yet. One the other day that somebody was telling me about, and it's on HBO, and I mean to watch it, is it Bad Times at the El Royale or something like that?
Oh yeah.
I heard that was really good.
Yeah, Erica told us to watch that.
Yeah, so I want to watch that, and I don't know, there's lots of stuff like that. I really want to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Tarantino's new movie coming out
That's
this
coming
weekend.
out the 26th, Friday.
Yeah, so I definitely want to see that. Have you?
I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. No, I haven't.
We can't talk about it yet.
No, we cannot. Yeah, it's fun to hear a take on your side of things on those movies because we don't normally have that.
Well, it's so funny because before the comic book movies became a thing, so like the entire time we were in high school and the entire time I was in
Yeah.
college, and then for like 6 years after I was out of college, they didn't really exist. So I was kind of a film snob, you know. I liked
Right.
watching like independent movies. I watched every like independent movie that came out. I followed directors and did stuff like that.
Yep.
But I feel like I don't really do that as much anymore.
No, I don't really think anybody does in that when you're just watching these big blockbuster movies that keep being shoved down your throat. And they are. I mean, Marvel keeps pumping
Or
them out
Disney
so
and Pixar movies
much.
because you have kids.
Yeah, that's about the only things that we watch. But I do feel like that we're at a point of not necessarily like market saturation to where you don't want to watch it anymore, but to where it's like, gosh, it's like so much stuff.
There's a lot of
watch.
stuff. Yeah.
And that's where I'm at, especially with TV shows and all the streaming stuff. I cannot keep up with TV shows anymore.
No.
Right.
There's no way to do it. So many people have said like, oh, have you watched this? Have you seen this? Oh yeah, I saw like the first episode, but I needed to finish these 13 episodes over here first. And
it's severely cutting into our writing.
yeah, exactly. And that's, or even reading. Like I used to read a lot more than I have before, but I just started doing more of that again because I was like, I gotta quit staring at this TV all the time because it did feel like work for a while because of this podcast. It felt like I had to start watching all of this stuff.
It did, but
in
I
order
feel
to
like
talk about it.
We've
And
backed down on that. I feel like I've attained a little more happy medium.
big time. And I mean, there's still some shows that I'm absolutely going to watch, and there's some shows that I need to finish, but I'm not doing it as a job anymore.
Yeah.
I'd
Well,
much
there's
rather
just
do
not
other
enough
things.
hours in the day to watch everything you want to. It is impossible.
Yeah, it is. Unless, of course, I just quit my job and live solely off of Amy's income. You know,
It
which
still
is
still wouldn't be able to get
not
to
necessarily
everything.
possible, but I can try.
I feel like
a guy can try.
could make if I could take like one day a week off of work
Yeah,
with my kids in daycare, I could really be on top of things.
you could slam some things
Oh
down.
yeah.
I feel like
If I had an
that's-
8-hour stretch once a week.
I can't say this technically publicly because people I work with listen to this podcast, but I don't know. I may be sick once a week, you know. But then again, what are they gonna say? I'm your boss. Right?
I mean,
right, guys, right? Sure. Come on, be on board with this. Yeah.
I mean, Tim can. He's got his own office with its closing door.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I had a closing door.
You don't have a closing door?
No.
I got this big window though, everyone can see in.
No blinds?
No.
Oh.
And probably like every single person that walks in there to get parts, just like meanders over
Oh, of course.
to BS. No, I'm gonna start the writing process, and
So I started some today, but
Oh,
I actually
really?
I actually only wrote like 6 words, and then I edited a bunch of stuff because I just saw red lines, and I was like, oh, those are bugging me. So I started fixing some things, but it's on a separate. I saved it in a Word document, and I sent it to myself in an email so I could write it in
Yeah.
there at any point in time that I wanted to, because like my work computer won't get into Google Drive because of security reasons. So I save it just in case I want to write at random periods of time. And I started bringing it up and staring at it. And then
it's a good first step.
it is. I mean, really, it's better than not bringing it up at all.
I keep
And,
telling myself, I'm like, eventually I'm gonna get caught up,
because I started
like from the spring,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like summer's even started yet.
No.
And it's like almost over.
really.
Yeah,
That's sad.
I know, it's crazy. This year's been such a shit show.
Yeah,
People
it
that
really
don't farm
has.
don't understand that. though.
No, most people don't. But you could probably use some rain right now, couldn't you?
Oh yeah, I'll take all the rain I can get right now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about all the rain I can get.
Yeah.
I think we tested that theory this spring,
Sure?
but
You sure about that?
so one thing I was going to bring up before we get into the news, because we
Okay.
got a bunch of news, right?
Yep.
Tim had some Pixar beef, not beef,
Oh yeah.
Oh, beef.
beef. He's
Beef.
got beef.
No.
He's got beef. I want to hear about it.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, Jerry.
Thank
But
you.
The Good Dinosaur. Come on.
I have been physically attacked and had death threats sent to me about the Good
You wanna know,
Dinosaur being a pick of mine.
Me and Marley were going up this weekend, and we had a road trip, and we were listening to it. I'm like, hey, let's listen to the Pixar movies. You'll like that. So we listened, and you said the Good Dinosaur, and I swear to God, unprompted from me, she's just like, what is he talking about? And then we got up to meet with the other people. We got in a car with 6 other people.
Yeah.
And Marley's said to the other person, he goes, Jerry said The Good Dinosaur was his 10th favorite Pixar movie. And everybody in the car is like, what? That movie's terrible.
I don't know why you guys think it's so terrible.
Because it is.
I mean, why? Why do you think it's bad? It's just like
It's just a waste. It's a waste. A waste of time.
it's like what's the movie where the guy finds a wolf and they become friends?
I don't
What's
know.
that movie? White Fang?
White Fang?
Is it White Fang or
The Call of the Wild?
Call of the Wild? I think it's Call of the Wild.
Is that a movie? They're making a Call of the Wild movie right
They
now.
already have there was an old movie.
They're making a new one with Harrison Ford, I think.
Well, he like befriends this wolf and they're buddies. It's the same thing.
It was
The
just
exact same thing.
It might be a similar story, but it was not well done.
Yep, Harrison Ford to
I like
star
it.
in the new Call of the Wild movie.
We're still talking about the 10th best movie.
Well,
That's not very good.
Well, there's only 21 of them, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I made my list of all of them, and I've seen 20 of the 21.
Which one haven't you seen?
Cars 3.
Oh,
You haven't seen that?
No.
Oh.
I don't know why.
what's your top 10?
Let me
Do you
pull
have
up.
it?
Oh, yeah.
Bring that up. I want to get this. I want to get some. I feel
Yeah.
like he's gonna agree with me. Somebody else commented too. They agreed with me on. Oh, that was you. They agreed with me on the picks for the '90s Avengers.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I can't remember what
Tom
you guys
Cruise,
had.
Captain America.
But yeah, he's a very good Captain America.
I think he's too short.
It doesn't
a
matter.
movie.
It's
It does
movie
matter.
magic, man.
No,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
And
Did you see how short Chris Evans was before he became Captain America?
Well, that's true. That's true. After you take that super soldier serum, you grow. That's what I need.
there was debate about Thor, and I think Brad Pitt would be a great Thor.
Oh yeah, that was the other one that he
Yeah,
agreed
who
with
did
me
I
on.
pick as Thor?
Somebody dumb.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis or something.
No, I did not.
I picked
Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis for Doctor Strange.
Yeah, you
but
did.
If you started at the beginning of the Marvel movies, you probably even got to Doctor Strange.
I have
yet.
not.
Oh, no.
No.
Well, you're in
Such
for a
good
treat.
movie. Yeah.
It's a great one.
It'll take me a while
That's
to
like
get
The
there,
Matrix.
but I'm working through them systematically.
Yeah.
Like
Do it.
in
What do you
order.
want?
Oh boy.
The only thing that stinks is some of those movies are significantly, I won't say better, but improved by the theater
Yeah.
theater and experience.
They are.
They're very like good movies to see in a movie theater.
Yes.
There's been several Marvel movies that I've loved in the movie theater, and then at home, I like them still, but
Yeah.
I'm just like
I
not
just-
as thoroughly into them.
I can't wait. We're going to absolutely have you back on when you finish all of these so that we can get your take.
Like,
because I can't wait.
4 years.
Well, I just can't wait to hear your take on like the whole culmination of Infinity War and Endgame.
Right. Yeah,
that's-
that's what I want to get to.
I know.
Obviously, but I want to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So
Somebody
you
on,
have-
somebody on Twitter the other day was saying because they announced, and we're going to talk about it, but their release schedule coming up.
Yep.
And they're like, it was about Endgame. And they're like, I got to sit through whatever 20 movies or whatever it is to watch Endgame. Ugh, how exhausting. And I'm like, you've had 10 years. It's your fault.
Yeah.
They only release 2 movies a year most of the time.
Right.
Sometimes 1 movie a year.
Don't yell
couple
at me.
times 3.
Yeah.
But so I've gotten to the first Avengers, and I cheated after that. I went to the next Avengers.
That's fine.
But I'll
That's
go
not that
back
big of a deal.
and watch all of them.
That one's kind of not very good.
No.
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
No.
That was one of the weaker
Yeah.
Marvel movies.
Well, and here's the thing: the first Avengers movie was great. Loved it.
Yes.
And I realized that you would appreciate that without seeing all of the origin stories. And I just wanted to see the next Avengers.
right.
Yeah.
So I skipped ahead and watched that one.
What's in between the 2 Avengers movies?
Iron Man 2.
Oh, a lot. No, because I've seen Iron Man 2.
Okay. Captain America, the first Avenger.
Oh, you need to watch that one.
No, I have.
No, that one would have been before the
So
first
let's see. I
Avenger.
started with Iron Man, then the Hulk, Captain America, Thor. I feel like there was
Then
one-
it was probably the Avengers.
Then I feel like there was one more, and then the Avengers.
And then there was probably
maybe it was Iron Man 2, and then the
probably.
Avengers.
Yeah, probably.
and then Thor: The Dark World's in there, which
That's
you don't-
after Avengers, though.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. In between the 2 Avengers
Oh, yeah.
movies,
That-
think
that's
you
not-
don't really need to watch it.
They kind of have it broken up in phases,
You should,
right? Like
honestly.
So
Yep.
I've made it all the way through the first phase.
So
You
we're,
should
we're
watch
going
all of
into
them.
phase 4. We're going to talk about that later.
yeah.
Because they do all tie into it at some point. Like every movie, I
Yeah,
like
they even found a way to make Thor: The Dark World tie in.
tie into it. Yeah. And yeah, we got to talk about that. Anyway, what's your Pixar? Go to Pixar.
yeah, I got
Pixar
it.
picks.
So, what order do I have to do this?
And first of all, before you get into this, I can't even explain like the reaction we've gotten on this Pixar list.
Oh my
I wish we
gosh.
would have done it before.
Yeah. it's
Apparently,
huge.
everybody. I mean, obviously, everybody loves Pixar,
It's
but like
it's like a
everybody's,
universal.
it's a universal thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people have kids, but let's be honest, that's just a good excuse.
Yeah, it is. It doesn't matter because everybody's seen these movies,
I mean,
especially when
so
you're talking
many
about
of-
Toy Story.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
So many of these were made before I had kids. And
Damn you.
Yeah, your kids are pretty. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess they're about the same age as mine, but
So what order do you want me to do this? because I did all 20.
Just 10-1.
Okay. Monsters Inc. is 10. Finding Nemo is 9. Number 8 is Toy Story 4. 7, Inside Out. 6, Ratatouille. 5, Incredibles 2. 4, Toy Story 2. 3, Incredibles. 2 is Toy Story 3. And number 1 is Coco.
Coco.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You sent me that, and I'm like, I think we ranked Coco.
And here's my list
We did.
written out.
Yeah, it is.
Where
It's
is
all-
the Good Dinosaur? Dead.
What is it?
The Good
last.
Dinosaur is number 20.
20,
Yeah.
and you
On
haven't
this list.
seen 21.
Right.
Wait. You had Cars 2 above Good Dinosaur?
Yeah,
Yes,
but just
at
barely.
At 19.
And actually,
Bugs Life, Brave. I feel like you should have put Brave a
You know
little
what?
bit higher.
I don't.
no,
think
here's
so.
the thing.
I don't think Brave is
17?
very good.
If I
I think
really
it's better
want,
than 17. Go ahead.
they're all good.
Yeah.
Except for one. Well, except for 2.
Yeah.
I mean, Cars 2 is not
good.
good.
Cars 2 is not
I don't
good.
think Brave is very good.
I don't think Cars 3 is very good either.
See, I didn't.
See,
mind
I haven't
Cars
seen
3.
it.
Yeah.
That's,
It's all right. Up. I'm not a huge fan of Up
No,
myself.
I didn't put it in my top 10.
nah, it's decent.
It's
Yeah,
number 11 for you.
Yeah, it belongs
You've
on
got
there
it,
because
you've
of
got
the
it above
sequence.
Toy Story.
Yeah,
That's crazy. The original Toy Story, number 12.
yeah. I don't
That's
know.
all right.
It's hard to
I
do.
only put
It
the
really
original
is.
Toy Story in the top 10 because it was the
Because
first
it's
of a
the original.
franchise.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, it's not as strong a movie as some of the other ones.
I don't
Yeah.
remember where I put it.
I mean,
don't
Toy
think
Story 2 and 3 are clearly better than Toy Story 1, but
And-
I
and
gave it
yes.
nostalgic value.
Yeah, if you're going to make that list, yeah, there's different ways to look at it. If you're
So-
going to just say it's as far as what movie I would want to watch now, that's probably where Toy Story
So
belongs.
Seed Top has always given me the argument about Coco. He was
Yeah.
telling me about Coco before I'd ever seen it because I hadn't watched it. It didn't really like stick out to me as a movie I would need to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it didn't like grasp me by any sense of the imagination. And then I watched it. And it's just like visually
It's a strong
amazing,
Oh,
and the
yeah.
story is really good too.
Yeah, very
Um,
original.
Yeah, I do feel like it was too low.
We rated it too low.
And it's got a nice little twist in there that you don't see coming, really.
Right.
You know? That's
Yeah,
just a
it's
good
very
movie.
good.
Not
Yeah.
even an
My
animated
kids don't
movie.
enjoy it that much though. They don't
Yeah.
really care about it.
My kids liked it a lot, but they don't rewatch it a lot.
No,
Not as much as they've rewatched like to Toy Story movies. Like Toy Story 3 they watch all the time.
Do they really?
And Toy Story 2. Yeah.
That's probably a good example of a movie that appeals more to older kids than my age kids. Coco.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, Coco? Yeah. I would agree.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Yep. That's a good list, but I still think Good Dinosaur is good. So I thought this was like a safe place where we could have our own opinions,
no.
but yet
No,
I'm
no.
just accosted and attacked.
Well, like I told you.
constantly on the street. People were throwing rocks at me last Saturday for no reason. A little boy, he's like, "Fuck the Good Dinosaur." It's like, hey, get off me, kid.
In no way do I want you to back down and say, all right, that wasn't good. I
No.
mean, I want you to stick to your guns. I just
I'm going
want you to know that I think you're an idiot.
Oh, I fully.
I want
I'm
to see
fully
the
aware.
little kid throwing rocks at you and be like, "Good dinosaur, more like bad dinosaur."
What is this? Is that's from like Billy Madison?
Yeah.
Hilarious, Chris. Good job.
I thought it was funny.
No, nobody did. News. Let's get into the news.
We got some
Beep-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
news here.
That's my news
Very
thing.
official.
Yeah. You want to go?
No, go ahead. I don't have any, so go ahead.
Oh, you don't? Jeez. Who are you?
You're the backbone of the news department.
Well, I don't.
You're our Bryant Gumbel.
Okay, I don't
Is
have
is
100%.
Bryant Gumbel a news guy or a sports guy?
I think he's a sports guy.
Who's you're our Tom Brokaw.
Ooh. Yeah.
He's a respected newsman.
What about Walter Cronkite?
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, so Marvel like set the world on fire over the weekend because of San Diego Comic-Con was going on. That's a huge Comic-Con across the nation. In San Diego, everybody goes there. And Hall H is where all the big stuff happens. So once people go to Hall H, like that's where all the big news gets thrown out. And Marvel was in Hall H, and they started announcing their whole Phase 4 plan for movies.
There's been a lot of speculation.
Yes. I mean, there's been a ton. I mean, most of it was all accurate
Yeah.
speculation, but they just gave basically dates and times and people involved with all of these movies. So let's see. They announced Thor.
The biggest one was Thor.
Thor is called Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
and it's going to star Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, and Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
She's back in it. And she's from
Thor 1.
Yeah.
No, Thor the Dark World.
And 1. The
she's
first
in the
one.
Was she in the
original.
first one?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. She's like the main.
Yeah.
In one?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I
She's
forgot.
like the scientist in the U.S.
Right.
Well, either way, she's coming back.
Yeah, she was not in Thor Ragnarok.
No, was not in Ragnarok.
But
or
she
in
made
it.
a brief appearance in Endgame
Yeah, it was like a flashback.
as a flashback. But
That'll be good.
so what I'm super excited about this movie is you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet.
I have not gotten to that one.
That is on the top of the top of the top of the
gosh,
list.
it's
I
so good.
hear that a lot.
It's very good.
So
I'll
Taika
get there.
Waititi is directing this.
Same director, Taika
This one.
Waititi.
And it's set for theaters November 5th, 2021. So they obviously haven't started production or anything yet. But
What really jumped out to me about this movie is the overwhelming reaction on Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias of basically clickbaity fake news stuff, trying to make it seem like people are freaking out about Natalie Portman being Thor. So, do you know what this is based off of? This movie?
what? The Love and Thunder?
You know what the movie is going to be?
No.
It's based off the Jane Foster Thor storyline in the comics, which was a huge storyline in the comic
really?
books several years ago, where Jane Foster actually becomes Thor.
Oh.
Well, more or less. She wields Mjolnir and,
Yeah.
and gets the powers of Thor. So she actually becomes not Thor himself, but Jane Foster Thor is what they call her.
Really?
So she actually becomes Thor. So the big thing going on was everybody was saying, oh, all these men hate the fact that there's just going to be a female Thor. But it's not true. Like there's been, like you go look at the comment sections on those articles and everybody's like, literally no, but there was like 2 tweets that stupid people sent that were like
Really?
complaining. But anyway, no, that's what's cool about it. It's based on that storyline was like the reinvigoration of the Thor comic book, where Natalie Portman or Jane Foster, who's like Thor's love interest, actually takes the helm and becomes Thor herself.
So,
And also Valkyrie's going to be in it. And what I'm excited about is I'm hoping, and I'm sure it's going to happen.
okay.
They're either going to have or tease or end credits Beta Ray Bill.
You think so?
I
You've been
think
talking
so.
about Beta
They're
Ray
gonna
Bill
do
for
it,
a
man.
while.
They're doing Jane Foster Thor. I never thought they'd do that. First
Right.
of all, I didn't think they'd ever get Natalie Portman back.
I definitely didn't think that. But
There's been a lot of hate on Natalie Portman in the comments.
it's going to bother me. I think it's going to bother me because all I ever want to see is how badass Thor is in a movie.
Yeah, they're not going to do it.
And they're not going to do it.
No, because Natalie Portman's going to be Thor.
I know. And that's so as you are excited, I think that's going to be really cool too.
It would be cool. It was like I never read
I
that
just want to
story.
see how badass Thor is in a movie because he's super badass in the comic books, like really badass.
I never read that story, that comic book run, but I heard good things about it. So we'll see.
Next big news. I think this one's pretty big because it has been done once before and now it's coming back.
What's that?
Blade.
Oh yeah,
They're
Blade,
bringing back another Blade movie.
and starring. Oh my gosh,
It hit Mahershala Ali.
Yes, Oscar winner.
Mahershala Ali. Yeah. What was he in before? He looks very
He just won
familiar.
an Oscar for The Green Book.
That's what it was. The Green Book.
Did you see that?
No.
Green Book,
I haven't
Tim?
seen that
It's
yet.
a
either.
good movie. Remember, I talked about it on the podcast.
I know you loved it a lot.
Loved
and it surprised me because I didn't have any interest in it whatsoever until you talked about it.
Pulling
Now-
double duty because he actually plays a villain in the Luke Cage Netflix show.
That's right. That's where I've seen him. That's where I've seen him from is the Luke Cage
He's
show.
been in a ton of stuff, and he looks perfect the part for.
Yeah.
He actually looks like young Wesley Snipes almost.
He really does. Yeah. Apparently Wesley Snipes commented on him
He's totally into it.
being into it. Yeah, he was fine with it, which I don't know what people wanted.
I'm excited to see a Blade relaunch. I think that'd be cool.
I liked Blade when it first
Did
came
you ever
out.
see the original?
Yeah, oh yeah, all of them.
I liked him.
That was like
Well,
those were like
not all of them.
other than the couple Batman movies and the old Superman movies. That was like really the first comic book movie franchise was the Thor.
Yeah. Yeah, it
series.
was.
It was even before X-Men. And they were good.
Because I think the first one came out in like 99 or 98.
Before that even, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Next, we've got the next movie that's coming out, Doctor Strange.
You're forgetting the very first movie that's coming out.
Well, I'm not going in order.
Okay.
I'm just going by how I saw them released. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
In the Multiverse of Madness.
Very comic booky sounding title.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
That'll be great.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, so Scarlet Witch is black.
Scott Dickerson. I don't know who that. Oh, he's the director.
He directed the first one.
It's in theaters May 7th, 2021. So that's coming out a little bit earlier. So it'll be starting here pretty quickly.
And that is supposed to be the first Marvel movie to move into the more horror genre.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be like a rated R horror, but it's supposed to be on that
really
creepy, kind of scary side.
Cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm into that. I love Doctor Strange. I think he's amazing. So let's see. What's after Doctor Strange? We have, where am I at? That one, and then The Eternals.
Yeah, which they've been talking about.
Yep, that one's definitely coming out with Angelina Jolie.
Kumail Nanjiani.
Yep, Richard Madden, Lauren Ridloff, whoever that is, Brian Tyree Henry, Selma Hayek's in it.
So that's the next one. That's going to be like, you take a super obscure comic book that nobody cares or knows anything about, just like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep, that's what they're going to do.
And everybody says that's going to be dumb because that was a terrible comic.
Yep.
And then hopefully
they'll blow it out of the water.
Hopefully they make it amazing. Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy yet?
I have not gotten to that yet.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of you.
You're just...
Well, I'm trying to go in order.
No, I know.
I'm excited for you.
Yeah, we're like super jealous because you are just stumbling upon things that are the greatest.
I can't wait. I can't wait till you get to Guardians of the Galaxy.
I know.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited to get to.
You don't need that. That has nothing to do with the other movies previous to it. Right. So you can jump to that one at any time.
Wait, have you listened to our top Marvel movies yet? The episode? Don't listen to it yet. No, I would say don't listen to it until you've seen a lot of these movies.
I purposely didn't listen to it because I didn't want it to spoil a lot of the movies.
Right, because I don't want you... Yeah, it'll spoil the movies for you, and I don't want you to have...
Because we talk in depth.
Yeah. I don't want you to have a certain... like
pre-existing,
right? Yeah, the same reason I don't like to read
reviews
reviews before I go see a movie because you want to go in with an open mind.
And you're going to have like a certain expectation that we've put on these movies for ourselves, and I don't want you to have that because I feel like it could ruin it. Yeah. It could ruin like the suspense or ruin the movie for you, and then you're going to think, well, maybe this should have been better.
Yeah,
if you don't like it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
Well, the Eternals, like I said, it was that was actually a Jack Kirby creation.
There was talk that Keanu Reeves was going to be involved with the Eternals.
Could still be.
They didn't announce him as one of the people, so I don't know. That's
a couple
up in the
years
air.
Before it comes out.
Yeah, that's November 6th, 2020.
Okay.
So it's just next year.
Okay.
That's really soon. And then, let's see, Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson.
I think this is possibly the one I'm most excited about.
Scarlett Johansson, David Harbour's in it.
Yep.
Florence P. O-T.
Probably not how it's pronounced.
It's P-U-G-H.
Probably like Pew.
No, it's P.
P.
And then there's O.T. Fagginball.
And Rachel Weisz.
Yes, Rachel Weisz.
Weisz.
Directed by Kate Shortland. In theaters, May 1st, 2020.
I'm super excited. I think it's going to be a prequel.
Yep.
That's going to deal with her past that she's always referencing. Mm-hmm. But my most exciting thing about it, which is what I mentioned before on the podcast, I said they really need to do the villain Taskmaster.
Yep.
And that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing.
And the pictures look amazing of him.
Chris he can see the future, I think.
Yeah.
With that little contraption you've got up there. The little sight glass thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you see the future with.
But no, I'm super excited about that, and that comes out really soon.
Yeah, May 1st, 2020.
That's the first one.
Yeah, next spring. Next one we got after that is Hawkeye.
That's a TV series.
Yep, with Jeremy Renner, an original series that will also introduce Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Streaming exclusively on Disney Plus fall 2021, which
long time from
crazy to me that they're pushing it off to 2021 because we've heard about this for a while.
All of the Marvel shows were way in the future. I don't think anything was coming this fall.
And then we've got
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Where was that
talked about?
Yeah, that one. Same people are going to be in it. That's fall 2020.
Yeah.
So that's not that far off. But there is a show called What If? The first animated series in the MCU with Jeffrey Wright as the voice of the Watcher, and many actors from across the MCU reprising their roles and voice talent.
Have you ever seen or read any What Ifs?
No.
There was comic runs of What If, but they've also done What Ifs in animated Marvel shows in the past.
Have they?
Yeah. And they're basically like Elseworlds.
Yeah, it's an Elseworld story of the same characters.
It's really cool.
That's also at Disney Plus. That's coming summer of 2021. Then they've got Loki, an original series, Tom Hiddleston, on Disney Plus, spring 2021. And then let's see, what else do they
WandaVision.
have? WandaVision.
So much stuff. They got one more movie that you're forgetting.
And then Shang-Chi.
Yep.
And the Legends of the Ten Rings.
Bad name.
Yeah. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
That is a very, very also little known comic book, which I've actually read some of the old ones. Not enough to know anything about it, but
I have not. So is that like their? Is that what is that?
He's the master of martial arts.
So is that like a variation of Iron Fist?
Yes. So my guess is they wanted to take a shot at like a kung fu style movie, which I'm a huge fan of.
Sure.
So I'm totally into that. I don't know why they would do that and just not do Iron Fist.
That's how I kind of feel. I feel like they could do a way better job with Iron Fist.
I totally get it. Like they want to introduce some diversity and have like an Asian-based movie with an Asian lead, but they could have done it with Iron Fist too, and that's a way more. I know that in the comics he's not Asian, but he could be in the movies.
Who cares?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Anyway,
that's like getting into Little Mermaid.
I think it could be cool. I'm into it.
You know, that's a hot button.
We're not talking about that
sure
anymore.
is.
That's a little bit of an issue.
They've also announced Captain Marvel 2, Black Panther 2, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, but way in the future.
And they've said, James Gunn has said for sure that Thor is not going to be involved with it, which I think we talked about this last episode too, because everybody was talking about how they wanted it called as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
Not going to happen.
So, yeah, no, that was super exciting. Like, the Marvel stuff was definitely the stuff that's been blowing up. But there's tons of other cool Comic-Con revelations. Do you know some of the other ones?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well,
I may have some of them down.
Okay. Well, let me see here. The first one, they did the trailer for the new Terminator movie.
Oh, no, I have not seen that.
Yeah, and I saw...
I saw a trailer for that Terminator movie a long time ago.
That trailer's already been out. But...
Sarah Connor's in it again. Original Sarah Connor. Have you seen the trailer?
Yeah. Linda Hamilton, right?
Yep.
Have you seen... Are you a fan of the Terminator series?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely... I have not seen all of them, but yeah, Terminator 2.
You don't need to see all of them.
I saw. So I've seen 1 and 2 and one of the other ones.
I'm pretty sure James Cameron has said like none of the other movies fall in line with the actual timeline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like he said, this is going to be a direct sequel to T2.
The trailer looks cool. They did
awesome.
trailer for The Witcher Netflix series.
They did,
starring
yes.
I think Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill is the main character, Geralt, I believe.
That's exciting. I played the game.
Yes,
I liked it. It's a great game.
The Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a time suck.
Oh yeah,
like that sucked so much time out of my life. It caused a rift between my wife and I. It was like, do you even love your children? Like, I do, but not as much as this game right now. It was a problem.
They announced Top Gun 2.
Yes.
With Tom Cruise.
Wow.
So I have not been able to watch the whole trailer yet.
You haven't seen the trailer?
Well, I started it, and every time I've started it, something has happened to where I've had to set my phone down. Another bullcrap thing in life where kids and work, all these things. Don't they know I have a trailer to watch? You know?
It was great.
I've been seeing a meme going across like Facebook and the internets, and it says, you know who doesn't care about the new Top Gun trailer? And it's Goose standing there pointing at himself with his thumbs like, this guy.
This is just
because he's dead, Tim.
I got it.
Spoilers.
Based on that trailer, Based on that trailer, it just solidifies his pick as Captain America in the 90s Avengers.
So.
But
I don't think it's a bad pick.
It looks great. It looks really good. I wish they'd do Days of Thunder too.
They should. Days of Thunder 2.
I'm eating iced cream.
That's a really good movie. I like, what's that one movie? Risky Business.
Yeah.
Didn't we already do this once?
Not
We
really.
started naming all of Tom Cruise's movies.
Yeah, and there was a lot of negative things to say about Minority Report. I like
No,
me.
no.
We
That
liked
was
it. It was
Dude.
Dude.
Oh,
I had bad things to say about Vanilla Sky. I did
Yeah,
not like Vanilla
that's
Sky.
not good.
But Minority Report is a good movie.
oh, okay.
I
It was
like it.
dude.
Born
then.
on the 4th of July.
Yeah, Tom Cruise's literal birthday is the 4th of July.
and he can't be Captain America. What is
See-
wrong with you?
I know. The more I say it, it's like...
Wait, is
the
that
more
true?
Yes.
And he was in the movie Born on 4th of July?
Yeah.
That's crazy. What's your favorite Tom Cruise movie?
My favorite Tom Cruise movie?
Oh boy.
Let me think about that.
I got to look up a whole list.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Jeez. This could be a whole segment.
It should be. I mean, he's been in so many. Do you want me just to name some of the ones he's been in?
I know what it is.
Well, I got to bring them up in
like-
order to look at them.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. He was in
I don't even need to look at this.
So I do
Rain
love
Man,
Mission.
Collateral. That was a good one.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
mine.
yours?
Yeah.
Collateral. That's a good movie.
I mean, I should
Collateral
look through
is
all
a
these
good
other ones, but I do love that movie.
Interview with a Vampire. Jerry Maguire.
Yeah.
All the Mission Impossibles. A Few Good Men. Come on, man. This guy.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Tropic Thunder. He's great.
Yeah,
in that.
he is. He just came back and
Man,
did that.
War of the
guy,
Worlds.
yeah.
I forgot about that. I heard that movie American Made was really good. I haven't seen it yet.
Rain Man, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Holy
What's
smokes,
the
he's been in
one-
so many movies.
Yeah.
The Firm, Taps, Endless Love.
Legend. That's the one I'm thinking of. Legend. Do you remember that movie?
I don't.
Oh, that was a good movie. He was in The Outsiders. Come on.
So, man, what would be my... I don't know what my favorite would be. Probably A Few Good Men.
That's a
of
good
his.
one. I'm going to have to pick.
I love the Mission Impossible movies. I don't care. I know they're
I do
cheesy
too.
and stuff, but
I don't think they're
freaking
cheesy.
love them.
They're all good.
The first one wasn't cheesy at all. I don't think.
I don't think any of them were. I liked 3. That was a good one. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen the last one. I heard that was really good.
You know what I like is the whole
Valkyrie. He was in that.
Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I was going to say, but for me, it's between Edge of Tomorrow and this one is not a popular choice, but The Last Samurai. I absolutely love that.
Oh,
movie.
yeah.
That's a good movie. Yeah.
I think that's a phenomenal movie. I don't think that's a
Or Jerry
unpopular
Maguire.
choice.
One of those 3.
I'm not a huge Jerry Maguire fan.
Oh, I love that movie.
It's okay, but Days of Thunder too.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Collateral's definitely not the most artistic of those movies, but
No, that's a
I
fun movie. Though.
I love that movie.
Jamie Foxx. He's great in it.
That's really good.
What were we talking about? with
Yeah,
that?
where were we at? With
Oh,
that?
Top Gun 2. All right, so they also announced they did a trailer for the DC Universe animated Harley Quinn TV show.
Yes, they did.
Did you watch it?
I saw that. Yes, and who does? It's Kaylee Cuoco.
Yeah. So how do you pronounce her name?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, from The Big Bang Theory.
Yep. She's the voice of Harley Quinn.
Yeah. I thought it looked great. I thought it looked really funny, and it's very adult. It's clearly rated R. It's for adults. It is not a kids thing.
Yeah, they've promoted it as
They're like
an
saying
adult.
fuck and all kinds of
Yeah.
Yeah. So that looked cool. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, it's on the streaming app. I mean, I'll probably at least check out one episode of it just to see how it is.
Another one's they announced a new Star Trek show, Star Trek Picard.
Picard, yes, and there was a trailer for that. Did you watch the
No,
trailer?
I didn't watch the trailer.
So in that
But
trailer,
that was my favorite of. I'm not a huge Star Trek guy, but of the Star Treks, that was my favorite series. What's his name? Patrick Stewart.
Yes, and that's Next Generation, right?
Yes.
And I've never been a big Star Wars guy, or a Star Trek guy, but that's the only one that I've really watched. And
Because it was the one that was on when we were kids.
Yeah, and I do remember that. But in the trailer, he pulls open this drawer. It's like this steel drawer, and there's data in there in pieces, like his face and his body and everything, showing that he's going to be in the show. It's pretty cool.
They announced a couple things, TV things. So Doom Patrol and Titans got renewed for season 2.
Yes, they did.
That's exciting. They canceled Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is kind of
I thought they did that a long time ago.
That's a good show. I just started
But I thought that
watching
was
back
like
the new episodes.
I thought that was put out a while ago that wasn't coming back.
I don't know, but
Maybe not.
it's a shame. That was a good show. They announced on the CW series of shows they're doing a huge crossover event. They're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And did you see about the Superman
And
thing?
they're bringing back Brandon Routh from Superman Returns to play a version of Superman. So they're going to have two different Supermans.
Yes.
From different Earths.
And I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I liked him as Superman. I don't care. I liked that Superman movie.
They did two. They're
great.
doing two Superman DC animated movies. The one of them that stuck out to me was they're doing Superman Red Sun, which was a great comic run that I actually did run.
And isn't that one movie that came out recently? It was kind of a play off of that.
I don't think so.
That recent movie where Superman was bad.
That was maybe Death of Superman that came out pretty recently.
No. It's called something else.
I don't know, but that's coming.
Got really bad reviews.
And they announced they're rebooting in the comic side the whole X-Men franchise in the comics, and it's going to be led by Jonathan Hickman.
Yes. What is that called? X-Men?
Dawn of X-Men or something.
Dawn of X.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So
that'll be cool. Hopefully they don't ruin it.
might get me back to buying X-Men comics, which I don't think I've
never really done.
bought an X-Men comic
I've read
other than the
a lot
Wolverine.
I've read a lot of Wolverine stuff, but I've never really bought X-Men.
That was most of my Comic-Con news. Did you have any other stuff?
No, that's basically all I had. Kevin Smith had his trailer come out for Kevin Smith
So that's a big thing.
reboot.
Kevin Smith's new movie, the trailer came out. I think it looks great.
It looks really good, and the biggest surprise that came out of that is what?
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck is back.
Yeah, and he posted like a long weepy.
Yes. So
Twitter
Tim,
thing.
are you aware of this? So are you a big fan? Do you know Kevin Smith?
Of course, yeah.
Are you a fan of his?
I am, yeah.
Really?
Do you know about his work?
Yes.
Okay. So
We're like rabid Kevin Smith. Or
Yeah.
at least I am.
Ben Affleck. Oh, right, because I don't count for anything.
No.
Thanks for that.
Well, I didn't want to speak for you.
Yeah, he was in-
first time ever. First time ever. Chris doesn't want to speak for me. So Ben Affleck was huge, and I started out in all of his movies, and then for some reason they've had that little rift.
Yeah.
Nobody really knows why.
Nobody really explained it ever.
Yeah, I never realized it was a riff. I just thought he kind of moved on.
Well,
to,
I think at first it was, and then,
I don't know.
The little bit I knew about it was that when all that stuff was going on, okay, so Ben Affleck was in Jersey Girl, and that's when he had that big public split with J-Lo.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
And the news was all over it, and apparently, and first of all, there was confusion between Jersey Girl and Geely. Geely was that like massive failure that was him and Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
But him and Jennifer Lopez were also in Jersey Girl, and it came out at the same time.
And it was kind of a massive failure.
Yeah, pretty much. Even though J-Lo was only in it for like literally 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But after that, they had kind of he just kind of distanced himself, I guess.
Yeah.
From everything, which makes sense. And a couple years had gone by. I guess they weren't really talking or friends or whatever. And Kevin Smith would always on his podcast and stuff make comments about Ben Affleck, or make fun of him about something, or
But not negative.
Not
it was like in a
negatively.
friendly, like this is my friend, I can say this.
yeah.
kind of thing.
But he said a couple things which I guess made it more difficult news media wise for Ben Affleck.
Oh, really?
So like it just brought the news back to asking questions about him. That just made his life more difficult. So and then later on there was a movie that he was in, and maybe it was when he became Batman. And Kevin Smith had said some stuff, and
Yes, I remember
again,
that.
it kind of made things more difficult for him.
Yeah, I remember that because I remember Kevin Smith like backpedaling on all that stuff, saying like, "Listen, I didn't mean it that way. Like you guys are taking this way too far." I remember that.
So I think what happened more is just Ben Affleck kind of just distanced himself in general, because whenever Kevin would say anything about him, it would make his life more difficult.
And I know Kevin Smith brought that up too. Like he had talked about it on the podcast about like every time I bring up Ben Affleck, it like blows up in my face, and everybody's like attacking me.
So
about
I think
it.
they got into a little tiff about that, and then they just kind of quit talking all in general.
But recently, a reporter was interviewing Ben Affleck and asked him like, "Hey, are you going to be involved with Jay and Silent Bob Reboot?" And he said, nope, never been asked about it. He's like, but I'm available if they want me. And so Jordan Monsanto, she runs like the whole, what's it called? Like View Askew, basically, network, whatever, Smodcast.
Smodco.
She runs that, and she went to Kevin and said, hey, he said this about you. Like, you know, maybe we should contact him. And Kevin was kind of like, that's just what you say in these interviews. It's not anything that he actually means. He's just kind of being friendly. And so a couple weeks went by, and his wife and his kid and other people kept saying, like, no, I think you need to contact him. Like, at least send him a text message. What's the worst he can say is no. So he did. He like ended up sending him a text message, I think, about the movie, and just kind of reaching out to him. And then he came back and said, yeah, I'd do it. Like, I'd love to do it. And so then obviously Kevin Smith got like super emotional,
right?
Because that's what he does now. Ever since he started smoking weed, all he does is cry at everything.
Yeah.
And he like cried about it, and then they ended up getting him in the movie, which I think is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And he's reprising his role as Brody.
No, that's Jason Lee's character.
Oh, what's his name then?
Holden.
Yep. No, what's his first name?
He's got two different. It's Holden McNeil.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was.
But he plays two different characters in the
reboot.
No, in like
the original movies.
Yeah, in the original movies, he plays two different characters, and in Jade and Silent Bob Strike Back, he's in it as two separate characters, I believe.
Yeah. Yes.
Because he's a different character in Mallrats as he is in, I don't know, some of the other, as he is in Chasing Amy.
Chasing Amy's a completely different guy. Yep.
So anyway, I'm excited about that. The trailer I thought looked great. It looked just like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Yeah, it's going to be exactly the same, but
we have a SMOD. We have a Snarf Talk road trip.
We do, coming up October
21st. We are going to the premiere in Chicago with Kevin Smith and Jay Muse live Q&A afterwards.
Yeah, you go and watch the movie, and then they come out.
So I'm excited for that. Nice. I can wear my Smodcast jersey.
Yeah, you can. I should get one.
Yeah.
He doesn't wear jerseys anymore.
That's okay.
You need to wear like a blazer.
So
that's what he wears.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
is that really the weight loss thing or what?
Yeah, I think he retired the jerseys for some reason. I think it was because he lost all that weight.
He lost the weight, and then I don't know. Somebody was making fun of him that he needed to start dressing better. I don't know. He wrote a whole thing on Twitter about it.
Yeah, he did. So that was big news. Other than that, I think that's all I really got from the Comic-Con front end. What I did want to throw out there is that I was looking at some of our top cities that listen to the podcast. I just happened to be glancing at the cities that people are listening to.
Just assumed it was Mazan, Illinois.
And no, there's a lot more. There was like in the last 10 episodes, we had a top 53 cities. And one of the top cities that I just want to, give a big shout out to is Coxsackie, New York.
Really?
Thank you, Coxsackie. Just north of Albany, you've got the big Coxsackie.
Who's listening in Coxsackie?
Don't know.
If you're listening in Coxsackie, you best be sending us a
hard tweet or
not tweet. Instagram.
A big swollen Instagram message from
we had a bunch
Coxsackie.
of other countries too, right?
Yeah, we do. I can tell you. Those are kind of fun to look at, but I just, wanted to give a big shout out
to Coxsackie.
Coxsackie. And it's literally spelled Coxsackie. How do you say that other than Coxsackie?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, I'm a child, but it caught me by surprise.
The next big Comic-Con coming up, we're also doing a Snarf Talk road trip too, and that'll be when is that, Jerry? Do we have an idea when that is?
Of what?
Wizard World, Chicago.
I have not looked it up. I'm sorry.
So in preparation for that, because when you listen to this, it's only going to be a couple weeks away, August 22nd to the 26th, we will be there giving away merchandise. So,
a bunch of merchandise and a comic book.
Yep.
There's Trieste.
And Jason Momoa is going to be there.
Friuli Venezia Giulia. You know where that is?
No.
Me either.
Your pronunciations are always spot on.
I don't know how to. And then there's Castle Franco Beneto.
What are you talking about?
These are cities. These are cities that have listened to the podcast.
Okay.
There's Streeter, Illinois. Never heard of that. Let's see, where else? Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, we're big there.
We have quite a few listens.
You know who's going to be at Comic-Con in Chicago? George Wendt.
Who's that? I know that name.
Norm from Cheers.
Oh.
Norm. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Henry Winkler.
I'd like to meet him.
I'm a big fan of the Fonz.
I would like to meet him.
He's always good and stuff.
So we've got 3 in the United Kingdom, 2 in the Netherlands.
Don't give numbers. Just
Two
times it by 100.
One
we got 200 in the Netherlands.
1 in Hong Kong.
Ooh.
And then a couple in Costa Rica.
I might have an idea who the Hong Kong person is. We'll see.
Who?
I don't know. I just made that up.
He's not like you said, we'll see if I know or not. That's funny.
Melissa Joan Hart is going to be at the Chicago Comic-Con.
So?
Shh. Come on. Sabrina.
Teenager.
Clarissa explains it all.
What did she actually explain throughout any of that?
Life.
Yeah. Duh.
Really? Come on, Tim.
Did you watch Clarissa?
Life. I did. Some of it, not all of it.
I never had. We didn't have cable growing
You were
up.
too old
No, not really. I don't think so.
for Clarissa Explains It All. I feel like you were too old.
I feel like you were too young.
Well, I mean, I'll always be younger than you, but I feel like you were in high school.
No, I feel like that was out when I was a kid. But the only time I ever got to watch anything that was like Disney or Nickelodeon or anything that was when we were at a hotel. So when we got to a hotel, it was like binge on Nickelodeon.
Really?
Yeah. So we didn't have cable. We lived in the country.
Terrible.
Yeah, we didn't either. My grandparents, that was our safe haven to watch all the garbage.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a satellite dish growing up.
See, I don't.
Awesome.
The only satellite dishes that existed when I was a kid were the gigantic ones that when you switch channels, it went.
Yeah, no, I know.
Changed position.
But when they got to be small, like a small one, we got one right away.
Oh, see, we did too, but I was in high school or
No
by
way,
then.
because I was in like 5th grade.
It was called Prime Star. DirecTV wasn't even a thing.
No, we had one. We had one from DirecTV.
And then we had like one box in the basement, but it had a little RCA infrared repeater in front of it. And then in every TV, you put the RCA infrared repeater and you'd use your remote and it would beam the remote signal down to the basement to change the box.
Yeah.
But it worked like 20% of the time. So you just like clicking and clicking. And there was like a latency that was ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of...
Because my parents were too cheap to just like put the one. They didn't want anybody running a wire into the living room. We got to put it in the basement.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Well,
speaking of...
back then you had to pay like $10,000 for one set-top
Right,
box.
yeah.
So
So that new Fire TV recast that I have...
that's okay.
Yeah, Fire TV recast. Have you heard of this?
No.
You haven't?
No, we have Fire TV, but I have not heard of recast.
So the recast is a DVR, basically.
Oh, nice.
Because I don't have like a satellite or anything anymore. I just do streaming services,
Yeah,
and then
same-
I have it.
same with us.
I put an antenna up, and the antenna works great. But what I was missing is that a lot of these shows that Chris would talk about, because Chris started watching American Idol this last year, and I'd always watched American Idol, but I haven't in the last
It was a great
year
season.
or two. Because
I hadn't watched that show in like 10 years. Oh my God, this season was
and
great.
I loved it. But the problem is I'd always record it because it comes on at 7:00 and it'll run until like 9 or 10. And throughout all of that show is when I'm trying to get kids like fed and to bed and
Yep.
do the whole nightly routine. I can't stop our nightly routine to watch American Idol. And actually, even if I did, I'm not going to be able to hear any of it.
Right.
So I wanted to be able to record this stuff, and now I can because Fire Recast TV, you plug your coax cable right into it, and it streams wirelessly to your Fire Stick, and you can get a channel guide just like on any dish that you bought, any satellite you bought. You get a TV guide, like a channel guide that comes up. You could see what shows are coming up next, what's playing now. You can record whatever you want. I got the 2 terabyte one, so it'll record like 300 hours of HD TV. And so far, it's been pretty amazing. I haven't really recorded anything yet because I haven't seen any shows that I wanted to record. But
it's the summer. There's nothing.
Yeah, there's really not that much on. The only issue that I've seen, and it's been happening, it was happening this morning. We turned on the news before I went to work, and for some reason, it acts like it's not getting signal. Now, I've never had that issue with my antenna before. It's 40 feet in the air. It's got a huge amplifier on it. I've literally never had an issue with the a signal coming in at all, no matter what channel it was since I've put it in. But for some reason with it, I am. And it hasn't been all the time, but like this morning, just trying to watch the news, a clear morning, there was no rain or like nothing really in the air, I guess. I don't know. It just wasn't getting signal. And I don't know why. So that is a little bit discouraging when that's happening.
You'll figure it out.
But hopefully it just
called
like,
tech support.
And I don't know, maybe it's my internet, because the recast box has to talk to the Fire Stick.
Right.
So it's you're getting an antenna signal into the box, but then it has to transmit that over Wi-Fi to your stick to your TV. So I'm sure there's going to be a delay, obviously, from live TV, but maybe it's just having a hard time communicating.
You could just split it and put one signal into your recast, one signal in your TV.
Well, that's
and
what
you can watch it direct, and then you also have your DVR to watch stuff recorded.
And that's so. Amy and I were talking about it this morning, and she's like, "Well, this is ruined." I was like, "I'll just put a splitter on there, and we'll put it right back to the TV, and you can watch it all the time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a TV right now at all because during the summer, there's a tree that grows and it blocks my satellite dish. Yeah.
Really?
So in the winter, it's fine, but in the summer, no TV.
Are you serious?
So have you had a satellite dish at your new house at all?
No, I've never had one.
Yeah.
No.
We got rid of ours a couple years ago.
If I had to pay for it, there is no chance. Yeah. But I shouldn't even say that, but
we paid for it when we were at the other house. I mean, every house I've ever been in,
it's like $70 a month. It's crazy expensive.
And the more and more we thought about it, I was like, man, we watch like 3 things. The only thing we do with this is record stuff for the boys. And
what's super exciting is
sports, but that's about it.
Yeah, and you can get that with your Fire Stick,
Yeah.
What's super exciting is that HBO Max is going to have HBO, Warner, and DC Universe in one bundle. Yep. And Disney Plus, I believe, they haven't announced it, but it sounds like they're going to have Disney Plus and Hulu Plus together in a bundle.
See, and that would be amazing.
So you're really getting 5 streaming services for the price of 2.
Another thing, like I was having a hard time justifying putting money into an antenna when you can get Hulu Live.
Yeah, but it's over the internet.
But it is over the internet.
We have that.
But you have fast internet. We have good internet, but not the same kind of internet you can get in town. Right. You can get some really good.
But honestly, I've never had an issue with streaming anything. I mean, on any of my streaming services, now that I've moved closer to your grain light, and it's clear line of sight.
I don't have an issue either. The only issue I've had, I just upgraded. I bought on Prime Day those Arrow.
Yes, through your house.
Wi-Fi mesh network things. So I got that all hooked up. And it's great because you put the one box in and you basically just put it off of your router. And then you plug other ones in just in wall outlets around your house. And it covers your entire house with perfect Wi-Fi. And it doesn't like lag at all. Mm-hmm. And when you walk from one end of the house to the other, it like meshes the network. So it works flawlessly. But one thing I have noticed is that when I have multiple TVs streaming, like if the kids are watching something in the room and I'm watching something out there, it seems a hair bit slower or more buffering than before when it was just running off the straight router. So I got to figure that out.
Really?
Yeah. But I will say before, I always had 2 internets in my house because the kids will be streaming something in one room. Mm-hmm. Cash might be streaming something in one room. Sky might be streaming something in another room. And I might be watching something in our living room.
But see, I have that same situation where Grant will be watching something. Grady watches something on his iPad. I've got something on the TV. I don't have an issue.
Yeah. I don't usually have an issue, but I don't ever want to have an issue. So I've always had AT&T DSL and MediaNet wireless.
This is such like first world problem. It's like, I never ever want to have an issue with my Wi-Fi.
I don't.
In any room in my house.
That's like the one thing about living in the country that.
So that was the big thing when we moved out here and when we were building the house. I was like, I'm never going to have internet. Like it's never going to work right because I tried a bunch of different companies. I ended up with the company that we're with, but in the other house, while we were waiting for the new one to be built, I just didn't have good service because of the trees. I was having to go across over to Hills, Grain Leg, and it was repeating off of yours.
Yeah.
And in any like windy day or rain, especially, like it was not going to work no matter what. And it kind of sucked. And I was like, man, it's never going to be any good. So I tried different companies when we moved to the new house to try to come out and set stuff up, and it would never work. Like there was a bunch of people that came out and were like, well, you just don't have clear line of sight. It's not going to work. And then I had Aaron come out from MediaNet, and
it's great.
He set everything up. He's like, yeah, you can see Harvard's Grain Lake, like should be fine.
Yeah.
I said, okay. So, and then he had put it on a pole. He's like, once you get a TV tower set up, you know, he's like, we'll put it up higher. He's like, and you'll never have an issue ever. And the one, the like receiver, the satellite thing that I have has a little heater built into it, so ice doesn't stay on it. So I don't have ice issues, because that was really the only big problem, is if it gets covered in ice, you don't get a signal, but it's got enough heat in it where I never got ice in it over the wintertime, and I've got perfect internet.
Yeah, if you live in the greater Grundy County area,
yeah,
you need it. MediaNet.
This is what's crazy to me is that, so in Mazan I had Comcast, and I had like up to 90 gigs of download speed, you know, all the time, and I could do whatever I wanted.
90 megabits per second.
Whatever it was, I don't care. It was a lot.
90 gigs.
Yeah. But then we moved out to the country, and I couldn't get anything, and it was a really hard change.
Oh yeah,
going from doing what literally anything I wanted to,
and you still can't quite
anything.
do anything you want. You can't stream 4K.
No, and that doesn't bother me. I don't need that.
It's hard to. It used to be the speed's gone way up. I don't know if you've noticed over the last like 6 months. He got a fiber optic line.
Yes.
And
yeah, he had to shut me down for a minute to
like
to
tenfold increase in speed. So
has it really?
Yeah, it's way faster. So
I haven't.
Check it out.
But I just thought it was weird that Comcast is in Mazan and it's in Morris, and I'm directly in between those, literally like halfway in between Mazan and Morris, and I can't get AT&T, Comcast, anything underground because it's not buried on Dwight Road.
Yeah,
and Dwight Road's half mile off 47, but they've buried none of it under the ground because there's just not enough people that live on the road.
You want to know what's crazy?
They won't spend any money for it.
At the corner here at 47 in Spring Road, AT&T has a fiber optic line that runs all the way down 47.
They do?
And it turns on Spring Road and goes towards Coal City.
Really?
And I've told Aaron, I'm like, we should somehow tap into that line, and then you can broadcast a fiber optic line like this right close to Mazan.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like a commercial line, so it's really hard to get them to tap into. Like it's super expensive. But
do you have to like buy access to the line?
Yeah. I don't know how it works, but it's not a consumer line. You can't just have them like hook it up.
Oh, really?
You know, they got to like put in a substation.
Oh, well, yeah, you'll have to have like a breakout box.
What needs to happen?
Because we're doing fiber optic at work. Like I'm putting fiber optic in for all of our security cameras.
Oh, aren't you fancy?
And every time we do it, the guy sets up this, it's called a breakout box is what he calls it. So every single time he has to set this box up, the fiber optic comes in, he has to do each individual fiber optic like line and put a little end on it and put it in this like bus bar and plug into that for something else, you know, and looks very like time consuming.
Great use of taxpayer money.
It is. Absolutely.
We got some wireless security cameras around here that Aaron hooked up for us that repeat off the leg, and I can go on my computer and check them out.
We can't have any of that. Government can't, because it could be tapped into.
Oh.
Hacked into. Yeah. Security stuff you wouldn't understand.
Of course.
No. You guys don't understand government security.
So I was going to talk about real quick. We had a couple of Snarf Talk road trips this last weekend.
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, go for it.
I went to Arlington Racetrack.
Arlington Racetrack, very nice.
Have you guys ever been there?
Yes.
I've never been to
You have?
Arlington.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Oh, I like it.
It's like super nice. I was wowed by like how nice it is. Like everything is real high end. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, I thought like horse racing was dead. Like I didn't know it was still a thing.
yeah, it's pretty booming, I would say.
The amount of money like that this place has or like has spent, it was awesome. They had a whiskey tasting, beer tasting thing.
Gosh, that
It was like
sounds so
$50
good.
and it was like 6 hours long. And they had all these
at the racetrack.
at the racetrack. And they had all these whiskey
the booze
vendors.
is flowing.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The booze and the betting.
Oh well, obviously the betting is, but I didn't realize. I guess the booze.
It's
was
kind of
there.
fun betting on horses, too.
It's
Oh, yeah.
really fun.
Like, if
I've
you're
went
there,
to the
you know.
OTB before. My grandpa's always been.
I've
huge
done that
into-
before too, and I've bet on horses and dog races.
Yeah.
But it's a lot funner when you're actually there.
Oh, for
and the
sure.
races themselves are like, it's like a side note to like the actual like the drinking and the partying.
Right. It's just a fun atmosphere.
But it's fun to like, because there's like a half an hour between races, so you like run, you bet your race.
Yeah.
You go out, you watch it, but they only last like a minute and a half.
Right.
Right.
And then you watch it, and then you run back in, and then you bet the next race.
But is it fun seeing the horses run around a track? Is it?
I go out there and watch it. I think it's,
yeah,
it's okay.
it's fun when it's an exciting race.
Yeah.
It's funner, you know, and the ones you're betting on win. Like there are several times where I had a trifecta picked, and they were like in perfect order through like 80% of the race.
Yeah,
and
at
then
the
like
end.
the very end.
Yep.
And you're like, damn.
You get way into it.
Yeah.
When you're betting on it.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
But this whiskey tasting was pretty cool. I mean, the only real thing that sucked about the whole day was it was like 10 degree heat index. It
Very
was
hot.
brutally hot.
Yeah.
But up there, they had a storm roll through about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and the temperature literally dropped to 70 degrees.
Really?
It stayed like that for like an hour
Oh my gosh, that would be great.
for the rest of the time we were there. So that was cool. But there was a huge rainstorm too.
Yeah.
But they had this whiskey tasting and beer tasting, and I drank some Malort.
Ugh.
Are you familiar with Malort?
I think I know
I
I've
am
had
not.
it one time, and I never wanted to ever have it again.
The guys that sell the Malort that are at the Malort stand,
They're from Chicago.
yeah, it's made in Chicago, and they're just like, it's terrible. This is like this is the shot that you give somebody to fuck with them.
Why do they want to?
They're
sell
like
this?
laughing about it. They're like, this
Really?
this is like god awful shit. They're like, it's hilarious. They're like, try some Malort, and then you drink it and it's terrible, and they're like,
What a business model.
Yeah, They're like, we make dog shit.
oh, and then I said, yeah, that it's made out of wormwood, and it tastes fine. I mean, at first, but it has an awful aftertaste.
Wormwood.
Yeah, wormwood. So it's like absinthe, but not absinthe. Absinthe is made from wormwood.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I said, he's like, yeah, it's terrible. The owner even says, he's like, it tastes like gas. It tastes like gas, grass, and ass in that order.
So why? I mean, what's
I don't know.
What's the purpose of this? Like
I don't know. But I did have some good whiskeys.
they.
It was too hot to drink shots of whiskey.
Oh,
though. But I drank a lot of shots of whiskey. And they had like cigar tents. I didn't get one of them, but
Really?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover?
not very long. I didn't get that hammered.
No?
No. You do a lot of walking around, and it was hot.
Yeah. You sweat it all
sweat
out
it all out.
immediately. Because I remember the last time you drank heavily, you're like, it took me 4 days to recover from
Yeah,
it.
that's pretty standard for me.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Have you found that it takes you longer, Tim, to like recover from it?
Oh, definitely.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
You
used to laugh.
definitely
You know,
does, me
you
too.
would kind of laugh about the 2-day hangover, but it's real.
No, it's definitely a real
It's
thing.
like 4 day for me.
Yeah.
With like
That's
a
what you
week
keep
of
saying.
depression tacked on the end.
Yeah. Regret.
What is
Well, I'm like the worst.
drinker's remorse?
I'm like the worst person in the world for drinker's remorse.
I have bad drinker's remorse.
Yeah.
And it's always like, because I always feel like I've said something so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, every single time.
Yeah. I don't feel like you do.
I don't. But you feel like you did.
Yeah. No, I usually really do, though. To where people are like, I don't know why you told me that.
I don't even know why. Like, even if
either.
Even if I go out and I'm not like super hammered or remember everything perfectly that happened and I didn't do anything stupid, I still get drinker's remorse.
Really?
Yeah.
About what?
I think it's just like
It's
the
just a
depressive
swinging-
effect of
Yeah,
alcohol.
it's a
Just a
depressant,
swinging.
so I think it just happens. I don't know.
Just a swing in your chemical balance.
But they'll legalize
hormones.
weed and then I'll never have to drink again.
That's true, but you won't be able to drive a semi anymore either.
Well, I just won't be able to get into an accident.
Well, true. Or have a physical.
Did you notice everybody that's always, I've got nothing bad to say about weed, but
Yeah.
people that are always promoting it's like, oh, it's so much better than alcohol, like as they're drinking a beer.
Yeah.
You know, like we should all be smoking weed instead of drinking alcohol.
Go, go.
Yeah.
As if the
You
two
just
don't
you
go
just
hand
want to
in
do
hand.
both, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. You just have a problem,
That was my
Tim.
yeah, back in college and whatever, when I did smoke some weed occasionally, I'll underplay it. That was the problem. I had a hard time mixing the two. Bad things happen when I mix the two. Alcohol.
How so? I don't
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just get like super hammered.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So I try to avoid that. I have in my past tried to avoid that.
Yeah.
I'm clean and
You've buried those demons.
buried those demons now
That's good.
until January 1st, 2020.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't do that. Again, government thing, you know, because it's not federally legal. So
But anyway, I highly recommend the Arlington racetrack.
Have you ever been to Balmoral racetrack?
No.
I think it's closed now.
Where's
Isn't
that
it?
at?
no, is it?
East of here.
Wait, is that on the south side of Chicago?
Crete,
Kind of.
maybe?
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I know this racetrack because my grandpa always talked about it because he
Yeah.
always went to Balmoral all the time. And a buddy of his that lives over in Seneca, what the heck's his name? Always owned a horse, but they did the kart racing.
Oh.
And he always went to Balmoral, always with his horses.
Oh, that was the thing. I bet over the course of the day. I spent about $60 betting.
That's it?
Yeah, but I
You
kept
won
winning.
You
Like,
won 54.
I'd lose and then I'd win, and I'd lose, and win.
Superman's cape.
So I bet like everything on Superman's cape because
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to bet everything on the and only comic book related name I could
Well,
find.
you only bet $15 on it.
No, I bet $15 to win, place, and show.
Oh, okay. So $45.
No, wrong. I bet $5 to win, place, or show. So it was a $15 bet.
Right. So-
And then a separate bet I made was $20 just to win. And then he did win, so I won the win bet. I won, and then on the win, place, show bet, if they win, you win all three.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I actually won like 50. I think I won $90 total.
Oh, no kidding.
And then later in the day, I won another one for $98 on
Nice.
like a $5 bet. So I ended up winning $11.75.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely worth it. If you come out ahead in any of that stuff, I
Yeah.
feel like that's a win.
Yeah, for sure.
For the day, because you're going there assuming you're
Gonna lose
gonna
$100.
lose, yeah, a couple $100.
And drink 100 free Tito's mules.
Yeah, that's nice. I think I've only had one mule before in my life. I don't
My
remember
wife
if I
is
liked
the
it.
expert mule cocktail maker.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
She's like the best at it.
Yeah, we have a mule making kit at home.
There's a kit for that, isn't it?
I
Just
don't
like,
know. It's just like
Don't
the
you just-
copper mug and
Oh yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
it's-
Well, you
it
have to
came
have-
with everything to make a few, you know. But
so
what,
the copper mug. Don't you have to buy the alcohol separately?
no, like this whole thing came with
Oh.
booze and ginger
Vodka,
beer,
ginger
and
beer,
It's like
lime, and
Like, we're going to give you 50 pounds of potatoes. You can make your own vodka.
make your mash.
Yeah. Here's a little hammer so that you can just pound out your copper cup.
Yeah. No, I for some reason it doesn't seem like one mule should be better than another because it's 3 ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
But Marley makes them the best ever. Everybody says so.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've
I
never-
don't have anything really to compare it to, so I'll agree with you.
So I drank a bunch of those. It was fun. I didn't
Well-
have a copper mug, but
My weekend was nothing like that.
no, it was your anniversary.
It was. So 10 years, and we didn't get anybody to watch our children because nobody wants to watch 3 kids for like 4 or 5 days. turns out. So we just ended up taking all of the kids and we went to St. Louis. We left Thursday morning, and stayed, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, came back Sunday morning. And St. Louis is really great for kids.
Yeah.
Like, it is incredible for kids. We went to, let's see, the first night we really didn't do much besides swim in at the hotel, and then, went out to dinner to a pizza place that was pretty good.
Next to Snarf MX.
Yes. So there's a restaurant all over St. Louis. There was like 3 of them. They're a sandwich place. It's like reminds me of like a Quiznos.
Okay.
Almost, even though Quiznos is basically non-existent anymore.
They got the pepper sauce.
It's called,
is very sad.
I liked Quiznos.
Quiznos was the shit.
I'm
man.
serious.
Their sauces, great.
Yeah. So, it's called Snarf's MX, and I didn't realize it until we were in this pizza restaurant, and I was looking at my GPS just to see where I was, like, in the city, because we walked there, and then I just wanted to see what was close by, and I saw it right next to us, and I was like, holy shit, they've stolen our name. But the whole idea, I told Amy, I was like, I need to go there. I said, first off, I got to get a picture of it. I didn't get that. And I was like, and I need to get inside there, probably order a sandwich, but then talk to a manager and see if they want to promote themselves on the podcast. Like, I was going to hustle, and I had stickers with me too. I was going to hustle the podcast, and I never ended up getting inside of one. Just because of like the cat, like it would have been me driving completely out of the way, which I should have done, and I didn't end up doing it. So
it's called lack of commitment.
Yeah, I just don't have faith in our show, apparently. No, but I really did want to get in there. And then, so David Timmons was there at the same time I was. He came in on Saturday and was doing basically the exact same thing Amy and I were. And he ended up sending me a picture of the restaurant as well, because he saw it. But so we did that. And then the next day we went to the City Museum. So this City Museum that they have in St. Louis is basically, it's like an art gallery almost, but it's a like interactive art gallery in the way of, there's these artists that have come in and made these huge steel structures on the outside and inside of the building. But they're like tubes. They've used rebar, steel, whatever else, and they've made literal tubes, cages, spiral staircases, spiral ramps, all of these different things that all fit together. That's like a maze you can just wander through. And it's literally like
sounds really safe for children. Exposed rebar.
You would think that it would be unsafe, but once you get into it, it's not like that. They've really rounded it all off, and inside of most of the rebar tubes, they've put one really shiny, smooth steel plate that runs up along it, so you can slide on that steel plate, not get caught up on things. It was like Graham, he's only 2, he climbed through a lot of it, and it was really great. There's huge slides that go along this whole building. The building's 6 floors tall, and it was an old factory that they've just repurposed. And a lot of that is going on throughout St. Louis, where they've repurposed these really old, like early 1900s factories, and just put new stuff in it. And this City Museum, we didn't even get through half of it, because the boys just wanted to keep climbing through that big maze of metal. And they've got 2 airplanes that are just hanging in the air that these tubes will go to, and you can go up in the plane, and then it goes to another area. Really, really neat. And then inside, there's hidden inside of walls, you can just wander into like a cave, and you can get to another part of the museum through this cave. It's a little bit weird because I didn't want the boys wandering off on their own, because there's a lot of people there, and you honestly would not know where they end up as they went through these holes. So you don't know what floor they're on or anything like that. So you really got to stick together. And I yelled a lot at them because I was like, we cannot get separated, because I will not know where you're at. Like, no matter what, I won't know where you're at. And Amy was not a big fan of climbing through all of these tunnels, but
is it air conditioned?
The inside was air conditioned. Obviously the outside was not. So this was on Friday, and it was super hot on Friday. So as we're climbing through all of this stuff, we basically ended that. We got there first thing in the morning when they opened up, and we left there around lunchtime because it got so hot. And there were so many people, and you're in and out all the time. And the boys were like done anyways. So we went back, took a little break, and then ended up going to the arch, did the whole arch thing. Then the next day we went to their
I feel like every time I've been to the Arch, it's been kind of a letdown.
I loved it. This is the
Really?
first time I've ever really been to the Arch. I've driven past it a million times, but I think it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Like how they built it. It's all stainless steel. I think it was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I've been through it one time when I was a kid, and I was impressed, but
That's how
I was also probably 10, 12 years old.
I don't need to do
I
it
didn't know
again.
it was stainless steel. That's kind of cool.
It's 100% stainless steel. And there's no, the structure of it, there's no like skeleton to it. The structure of it itself is each stainless steel cube, basically, that they've made, or triangle piece, because they're all like triangles, and how they stack onto each other. And the function of an arch as it is what is load bearing. There's no interior skeleton to it.
Yeah.
It's just,
So what are we going to do in the future, all right, when, like, we have quit making these types of things, like, as a society?
I mean, haven't we really already, kind of?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like monuments?
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Monuments or things like that. Like, how old is that arch? 100 years old?
Yeah, it was finished in like 1960.
Oh, really?
Something? Yeah.
Well, in any case,
No. Am I wrong on that?
I have no
No,
idea.
no.
there's
it
no
was in the
money
60s
to make
because-
these types of things anymore.
This is what I read, because there's a museum underneath of it. And in 1957, they still didn't have the engineering design to do that arch. So like the guy that designed it came out with the design. He won, because it was like a contest. He won the contest for this monument in 1957, but at the time they didn't have the engineering capability to actually build the thing. But in 1958, there was a Mexican engineer that came out with a way to do it, to actually manufacture the pieces and make the thing. So had he not figured this out, there would have been no arch. But it was like 1 year later they figured it out, and then in like 1959 they started construction.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're not doing anything like that anymore. I mean, the closest thing, like, new thing, just because we're close to Chicago, that jumps to mind. But like, they've done like Millennium Park, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's really awesome. But like the Bean, it's not that cool.
That's not a thing. I don't even know like why that's even there.
But that Maggie Daly Park is really nice.
Yeah.
I
it
would
seems
always
like the engineering feats you hear about now are like football stadiums. You
Yeah.
know, just
Yeah, they really
stuff
are.
like
stuff that generates income.
Yeah,
Like that.
well, you hear about a lot of cool things in like China. China's building all sorts of monuments, cool bridges, but it's like we're almost past that.
Malaysia
Yeah.
made those towers.
Malaysia.
Those like spiral towers, and
yeah.
they've got like a crosswalk that goes across them. It's
Yeah, what
weird.
do they call those?
Something.
Burf. It's some Burf Khalifa.
No, nobody says that. Nobody says those words. So anyway, then we went to the zoo, and the zoo's 100% free. It was
And
super hot on
It's like
Saturday.
the number 1 or 2 zoo in the nation.
It's awesome.
Yeah, very good zoo.
It is. Have you been to
I've
it?
never
I have.
been to
Yeah.
the St. Louis Zoo, but like
It's so great.
a week before you guys went, my sister did the same trip you guys did.
Oh,
And
really?
they live down there, so they go there all the time. But
Yeah, it's great. There wasn't a ton of animals out just because of how hot it was.
Yeah.
I think they just didn't want to be out. But like the rhinos were out and everything like that.
I have heard
It was great.
That's like number 2. The number 1 zoo is like the San Diego
Yeah,
Zoo,
has to be.
which I've heard is
Oh, it's amazing.
Ridiculous.
I've
Well-
been there. It's unlike any other zoo. I've
Oh,
ever
like
seen.
really?
Yeah.
there's like a tram or train that like takes you in and goes all around.
There's
Well,
a
there's just-
train inside the St. Louis.
Well, and
Zoo,
there's
too,
all
but it's
sorts
like
of
a little kid
elevation
thing.
changes. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just up and down, and it's
That's how
very
I
well
felt-
done.
That's how I felt the St. Louis one was, because I was pushing a double stroller. And
Right.
I could tell.
And I love the
could feel it.
Brookfield Zoo, which is not like number 3 or 4 on the list, but
Here's what I felt like was different between the Brookfield Zoo and St. Louis, though, was that the habitats themselves for the animals. Like at St. Louis, these habitats change as you go through it, and it's like legit. It's thick, like forest that it feels like you're walking through. You can tell when you change, when you get into like Asian territory, like the Asian forest where the Asian elephants are. Things like that changed, and it made you feel like you changed that. And then the habitat enclosures that the actual animals are in were really great, like really nice. And I felt like I always feel like at Brookfield, it's just like this big open pit where an animal's standing.
yeah. yeah.
I'm like,
I know
oh,
what you
that
mean.
sucks. Wish I would.
Brookfield's like super nice place to go and like hang out, like get off work, drive up there, go walk around. You can get a beer. Your kids can run around.
Yeah.
It's like a park.
Yes.
We actually have a pass this summer to the Brookfield Zoo.
Yeah,
and we've been there 0 times.
We're not zoo people.
We're members too. We've been members for a long time now, and we don't use it enough either.
Yeah.
But we're actually platinum members.
Oh boy.
Throwing out the plat.
I believe. I don't know if it's platinum, but it's because we got memberships for our employees. So like they give you credit and they like upgrade your membership.
Yeah.
The only difference you get from this high-end membership, which we had to basically buy 3 memberships to get,
Okay.
is instead of a paper membership card, you have like a credit card type membership card.
Oh, nice.
And you get access to like a wine tasting event. And that's it. That's the only difference.
You're pretty special.
I think my favorite zoo I've been to, which isn't really a zoo, and it doesn't have nearly the amount of animals, but is still Animal Kingdom at Disney, which is unbelievable.
Really? I don't know if I've ever been to Animal Kingdom.
Unbelievable.
I have not.
Here's my biggest complaint of St. Louis. The area was great. The downtown's really nice. It's super easy to get around, I think, in St. Louis. And the hotel was great. We stayed at the Hilton by the ballpark, so it was literally right next to
I
Busch
stayed
Stadium.
there. I stayed there. Was that the one that's got that rooftop bar?
Yes.
Yeah. I stayed there. I've stayed there a bunch of times, but the last
Oh.
time I was there, we hung out at that rooftop bar. I think we were on the way to my bachelor party at the Ozarks, and we stayed there, and we went to that
Oh,
rooftop
okay.
bar and had a pretty good time.
Yeah,
It's a cool
I'm sure
place.
you did. Yeah, it's a really great place. So that was good, but my biggest complaint around there is parking.
Oh, yeah.
It's super expensive everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you park. They are going to charge you minimum $15.
Well, it's a city.
I know, and it
Go park in
sucks.
Chicago. It's like $30.
See, I don't ever drive to Chicago. That's the thing. I make you drive, or I take the train.
You need to use Spot Hero.
But honestly, most of the time, whenever I go to Chicago or we go to Chicago or whatever, it's for a specific event, and they usually you pay like $20 for parking for the event, anyways, and
Or
it's
like
rolled
valet
into the
parking
tickets.
or something.
Yeah.
They have. I've used a couple times Spot Hero or other similar apps because I went to Cubs games or whatever. It's like the Uber for parking.
Okay.
So people will like sell their driveway,
Really?
or their garage. In one case, I parked in somebody's garage.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Was it me and you? No. I've done that
But you
before
can park
for
like
something.
literally right next to Wrigley Field and just walk in.
You know what it was? Is for that $1 Million Quartet.
Oh yeah.
I did it for that
Oh,
because I
that's
parked
great.
right
$1 Million
next to the
Quartet. I'd go
was a-
see that again.
Yeah, you were the one who told me about it, and I went and saw it. It was really great, and I bought it for my parents too.
Yeah.
That was a good show.
Oh, I feel like your dad would be totally into that.
He was, because they went and they loved it.
I am not familiar.
It's a show. It's like a musical in Chicago, but it's more like a concert. And what it is, it's the recording session that Johnny Cash, who are the other people? Elvis,
Wilson,
Jerry Lee Lewis,
Wilson Pickett. Was it Wilson Pickett?
I don't know, but these 4 guys. It's based on a true event. These 4 guys got together and they
They literally just ended up at the same place at the same time.
and they did like a recording session all together.
Oh, nice.
And they like reenact that as a musical.
Yeah.
And they play all the songs, and it's really good.
And the guy that played Jerry Lee Lewis.
And it's in a tiny little
Just
theater, so it's
awesome.
basically like you got right front row seats to an amazing concert.
You don't have. There's no bad spot sitting inside of this place, and they play live music in front of you, and they all are spot on.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the Jerry Lee Lewis guy. Yeah, he rocks.
And I looked him up, and he was like, at the time we saw this probably 5 or 6 years ago, at least now. The guy at the time was like 23 years old.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap. And he was so talented because he was laying on his back upside down playing the piano. Like, unreal.
Yeah.
The guy did unreal things. It was really great. So, we're at 1 hour and 52 minutes already,
Oh,
boys. So, we
Yeah.
ain't got much time left.
we got
goes
plenty of
fast.
time.
It does go really fast. See, it doesn't feel like 2 hours when you're talking
No.
and doing stuff, but
Sure
when you
doesn't.
sit there and listen,
But I can't wait for you to take the headphones off at the end of this, and you're just going to be like,
where
you
am
just
I at?
suck into depression.
Yeah, you get that. What's that?
Yeah, you get like a Snarf Talk hangover.
Podcaster's remorse.
Well, since this is coming out next Thursday, so it'd be Ooh, the
August
1st.
1st.
August 1st. This is a vibe. Then we have very little time to promote potential upcoming Snarf Talk road trip.
Yeah. When was that? When was the...
What?
Are you talking about Wizard World?
No. I would like to do a Snarf Talk road trip to the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would absolutely be.
And
on
if we
that.
got enough people, I would be interested in getting a bus and or limo.
I agree.
And so if you're listening to this on the 1st, it's only open on Saturdays and Sundays. So,
But it's so worth it. Have you ever been to the Renaissance Fair? No. Holy
we could go
smokes, Tim.
August 3rd or August 10th or August 17th. Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
One of
so-
those 3 weekends. The 24th, we can't do it because we'll be at Wizard.
I know. So here's
We
the
could
deal.
do the 31st, which is Labor Day weekend.
The 3rd, I'm going to be at like a pool party thing, I know. That week on August 5th, we're going to Iowa for the week, and we're not going to come back until that Saturday.
So the 17th
So
or the 18th?
Yeah, that'd be about the earliest I could do.
Okay.
But
or
they're
the
open,
31st,
They're open until
Labor Day
Labor Day,
weekend. And they
right?
have a 3-day weekend. They do Saturday,
Friday.
Sunday, and Monday.
okay.
So we could go. I'm guessing
I don't
there's
want to
going
do the closing.
I'm guessing that no, that's what I've usually done, and it's great. I'm guessing though there might be stuff going on Labor Day weekend, so I'd like to try and not do it on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Plus, there'll be way more people there.
It's really fun. They do like a whole bar crawl, and there's a guy that
I can't explain to you how many people I've had that I mentioned this to. They're like, "That's stupid. I would never do that." People have no idea how great it is.
You guys are missing out. Everybody's like in character when you get there, right? Like it's a Renaissance fair, and they're all dressed up in character, and they play their characters. And when we did the
well, not like all the people, but a lot of people
like the
dress
people
up
that
too.
work,
Yeah.
the people that work there are in a character, but then there's tons of people that dress up that go there, and then there's vendors that are there that sell things that you would never see in a normal store.
One confusion I think people don't quite understand is when they think of it, they think it's like a county fair.
Right. It's not like
with
that.
like tents and stuff.
Right.
It's not. It's
big-
permanent structures. It's like a city.
Yeah.
Built city.
And it looks like you walk into a castle,
Yeah.
like inside of a castle wall.
And
basically.
Sounds intriguing.
All of
So
the
cool.
storefronts, which are all built buildings, are either restaurants, bars, or shopping.
Yep.
So that's how I always get women to be involved. I'm like, there's tons of shopping. There's tons of cool stuff.
We did that drinking tour.
Yeah, the last time we went, they have a bar crawl, which you got to pay a little extra for.
Yeah, but it's a guided one.
It's a guided bar crawl, and you meet at this one pub, and you get a guide and a couple of guides, whatever, and you go from pub to pub, which there's tons of bars.
It's the whole street. I mean, the whole place has different bars all over the place.
If you buy tickets for that, you get a drink at every pub.
Yep.
And the whole time, the guides are just telling like dirty jokes.
Yeah. There's
Like-
multiple guides, and they do limericks
Yeah.
and like dirty limericks and different things. It's absolutely hilarious. It was so fun. I remember Amy having a really good time, but then by the end of it, we're like, we need to get back home.
Well, we drove. We drove. That was the problem. So I'd like to not drive.
Right, because we were fine on the way back because we had plenty of time after. Because
Yeah.
we stayed all day long,
Yeah.
and we got
It's
home.
easy to do. I mean,
It's-
there's so much. It's huge. And that's one aspect of it. And then the whole on the end is the tournament thing, which is basically medieval times.
Yes,
Jousting,
outside.
sword fighting. They have jousts. They have parades. They have all kinds of stuff.
And there was like those two comedian guys.
yeah, there's
that we
shows
watched.
all over. So there's like the Mud Pit.
Yeah,
So they have a comedy show that goes on there. They have the main stage where they have comedy shows going on all the time. They have that Shakespeare comedy guy. They got a fire whip guy that does a show with
Yeah.
a whip that's on fire and he does tricks.
isn't there like fencing or sword fighting?
Oh yeah, they got the whole stage where they got these. It's a comedy show
Yeah,
too. A
that's
lot of
the
them
one
are
I was
comedy
talking
shows
about.
where these two guys sword fight.
Yep.
And
But
it's
they're jumping, like they're climbing up on this.
like 3-story tall buildings and
Yeah.
like doing tricks and jumping around.
It's really fun.
They have
It sounds like
They
it.
have
It really
artists
does.
all over. They have this huge concrete area where they have chalk artists
Yep.
that are incredible.
Yep.
They have just all kinds of entertainment throughout this whole thing. And
I think
big
I've got-
turkey legs,
Yeah, you could buy all
tons
sorts
of food, tons of food.
I think I've got it on Facebook where we have a picture of all of us or I think there's just a picture of me next to this one guy. He was like in all black leather with this really crazy mask on. He was kind of an intimidating person because he was super tall and big. And I, of course, immediately run up to him and get a picture in front of him. I think he was carrying a big sword.
Yeah, a big axe or something.
Yeah, like there are some strange characters that are there. And these are just people that come to the Renaissance Fair and are just dressed up. It reminds me a lot of like a Comic-Con. It's like the original Comic-Con.
But then they have carnival games. So, but they're like period carnival games, so they'll have axe throwing.
Yeah.
They have archery. They have this one where there's a guy that just sits in a booth and shouts insults at you while you throw tomatoes at his face.
This sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh
It is a lot of fun.
It's
fun.
Really
it's really
good time.
fun to do with kids, but it's also really fun to do just adults.
I've only went one time, and it was without kids, and it was a really good time.
There's
But
tons of kids activities too.
Yeah, the kid, it's designed for kids and adults at the same time, so you can have a whole separate side of things.
Yeah, they have a huge climbing wall. The one cool thing for kids is a ride where you climb up on this platform, and they have it's like what do you call the things where you slide down on the cable?
Zip line?
A zip line.
Yeah.
But you sit on a horse, and there's two of them, and you go at each other and joust.
Joust.
Each other.
Oh, nice.
And then they got carnival rides, but they're all human powered, like carnival rides.
Yeah, slaves,
Yeah.
I think.
So I would love to do that as a Snarf Talk road trip.
Yeah,
If we can get enough
Snarf
people.
stay out.
And if we don't get enough people, then we'll just
Go. Yeah.
Some of Jerry and my favorite stores to go in is they have an amazing pipe and tobacco store
They do.
with all these super intricately carved, awesome pipes and all these different kinds of tobaccos. They let you try the different pipe tobaccos.
I bought that church warden pipe.
You
It's
got
like
the church
super
warden.
long.
I got the Gandalf, I think, or something
Yeah,
like that.
yours was even longer than that, right?
I had to outdo yours.
Yeah, you always do. Chris is always outdoing me.
They have a really cool that guy that makes handcrafted leather diaries.
Yeah,
Or like
journals. I bought one. I
We
still
both
have
bought one, yeah.
And the parchment, like the paper that they use, is the same that they use like in the early 1900s. Like it's the same
It's like
type of
cotton
paper.
parchment.
They said they found it on the Titanic, and it's still in perfect condition at the bottom of the seafloor. And they pulled these papers out of the water, and they're still in good condition. I still have it at home.
Yeah.
It's really great.
lot of clothing, jewelry, weapons.
Amy bought a ring there, and she's like, it's like, I don't know, it's got this green rock on it. She wears it all the time. But when she first bought it for like $8 or something. And she's like, well, this is going to turn my finger like black, probably, whatever it's made from. It doesn't. And it's really great. She likes it a lot.
All the stores it's all handcrafted stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yep. So, Snarf Day Out, Renaissance Fair.
And
You're-
so many
you're
people,
I'm in.
Tim.
Sounds good.
so many people, I tell them that too, and they're just like, nah. And I'm just like, you don't understand. It's like you walk around this place and drink and have a great time.
Yeah. Have a really great time. You are literally like transported in a different time. It's
Yeah.
like a different place.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I see it on Facebook all the time because I like their page, and they post stuff all the time about what's going on. It's really cool.
So we're gonna shoot for that. If you're interested, let us know when you might be interested in what weekend you might be available.
Yeah.
If we can get enough people, like I said, at the worst case, we could get like a limo.
Right.
Best
Preferably
case,
bus.
we could get a bus, but we'll have to get enough people because that could be expensive.
Yeah, it can, but not for you. You can just pay for it.
Well, no, the Snarf podcast family is not fronting the cost of the bus, just to be clear.
Let's put that up
That
front
will
right
be
away.
split evenly between the riders.
Yeah, if we could get some like advertisements or maybe some people that would pay us for this.
Oh, maybe if you went in the sandwich shop.
I know. If I would have went to that damn sandwich shop. So, yeah, what else you got? Anything?
No.
Tim, closing statements?
What have you been? We haven't done what you're watching. What have you been watching?
Nothing. Honestly.
Nothing at all.
Not really. I didn't watch the most recent episode of Swamp Thing yet, so I think I'm 2 behind or maybe 1 behind.
I watched it. It's good.
Really? It's
Yeah.
number 8, right?
Yes.
Yes, I have not seen that. So, no, I really haven't watched anything in the last week, to be honest.
The only thing I've been watching. Oh, 2 things I've been watching. I've been watching like the show Krypton.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I love it.
Really?
I really like it.
Gosh dang, I need to start watching that now too. Every single time we talk about shows, it's like, well, I gotta add that to the list.
Right. There's just not enough time in the day. That's the
No.
thing.
And then the other thing I've been watching is I really wanted to watch Get Cash or watch a animated superhero show with Cash.
Yes.
So I started to watch the newest Spider-Man show that's on Disney now currently.
Okay.
And I didn't like it. So I went back and I bought the first season of the 90s the 90s Spider-Man show cartoon.
Yeah.
It was on when we were kids. And I've been watching that, and he watched 2 episodes and he really liked it, but I just kept watching it.
Oh, really?
And
Is it good?
oh, it's
I don't
so
remember
good.
it.
It's so
I mean,
good.
I remember the show, but I don't think I ever really watched
I love it. I love it. I'm like way too overly obsessed with it.
Really?
So I've been watching that. It's another like 20-minute episodes.
So I think our camera died.
Yeah, your camera died.
Dang, that was like
This is supposed to be our first video podcast.
We never talked about
It's more of a testing.
It was a test,
testing
and it
phase.
made it 2 hours and 3 minutes. So we know we could get a full 2 hours out of it.
Yeah,
Out of one, that was one charge. But I think you can plug those into like AC power
for sure.
like, you know, all the time, powered all the time.
Anything you've been watching, Tim?
Not this week.
No movies or TV you've been watching? No, it doesn't have to be this week, but just in general.
Well, it was not that long ago that I watched Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
I mean, this is pretty recent that I've been working on getting through those movies.
What'd you feel? How did you feel about Age of Ultron?
I didn't like it near as much as the original Avengers. Still good.
Yeah,
That's the general consensus, I feel.
Yeah.
I was super excited for that because I love James Spader,
Yeah.
who's the voice of Ultron.
Yep.
But
Yeah, he was a great pick for that voice.
Yeah.
But I was introduced to the Scarlet Witch, which I had.
Oh yeah. I forgot she came that early in the.
Yeah, and her brother,
Quicksilver.
Yep, Quicksilver. Both good characters. I like both characters.
Yeah, I like the portrayal they did with Quicksilver in that movie.
Yeah,
I feel like they never really gave Scarlet Witch enough to do in any of the movies.
I mean, towards the end,
she's one of the most powerful Marvel characters.
Yes, towards the end,
very.
they gave her some more to work with, and obviously she's going to be continuing.
Yeah,
because she's in the Doctor Strange one.
she is. Was that the one she's in?
I thought so.
And she's in her own TV show.
And Jerry, you made a comment earlier about you just keep hoping for Thor to be more powerful.
Yes.
And I kind of agreed with that watching that movie. He almost seemed somewhat helpless.
Yeah.
And
For a while, Chris has said it before. He's like he's finding his power, which I don't necessarily agree with because they talk about him so much on Asgard about being the god, of thunder. He talks about it all the time too, and what he can do, but he just doesn't do it. And eventually he starts finding it out throughout the movies. He does get more powerful.
For sure.
Yeah. Ragnarok, he does get a lot more powerful. Really great. I thought they were going to continue that afterwards, and I just don't feel like they did.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in the next one.
To the way I wanted it to be.
He's got a character arc.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I don't want to spoil anything for you.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
why
don't want you to
wanna
either.
talk about it, but
and other than
me
that,
personally, I just feel like he could be better compared to the comic books. He's still a phenomenal character, though. Like it's somebody you can't have any of these movies without Thor.
Oh, agreed.
It won't be the same. I just wanted to see him just like destroy everyone.
Right.
That's all.
Well.
And then, at that point, like with what I want, it wouldn't be a movie that anybody would enjoy because it'd be like, well, now it's over because Thor killed everyone. So.
And other than that, kind of my go-to Seinfeld. I mean, I basically fall asleep to Seinfeld every single night.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I was doing that with The Office for a while.
And I watched. I've kind of been rewatching Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh,
love
yeah.
that
Because
show.
there's a new season coming here pretty quick.
I think I put Curb on my top 10
You did.
TV shows,
Yeah,
but
you
not
did.
Seinfeld. Because I think Curb Your Enthusiasm
both
was
would
better.
be on my list if I was to do it.
I did Seinfeld, but not Curb.
But yeah, I watched an episode of Curb last night.
Yeah, there
It's
is
such a funny show.
yeah,
It's unreal.
there is a new season of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
There's something
They
amazing.
do it like every 4 years
Yeah.
or something.
Oh yeah,
It's like whenever Larry David decides to do the show, he's like,
yeah.
all
He
right,
doesn't need to do
let's
it.
throw
Just
it out now.
whenever
No.
he feels like it.
How much money do those people make off of just Seinfeld?
Oh,
A lot.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable how much money those people make.
Yeah.
Like Jerry Seinfeld is a stupidly rich person.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he acts like it.
Is he a billionaire? He's got to be a billionaire.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he's probably.
One of the best things I've ever seen is, what's that lady's name? She's a singer. She's not very good. But she comes up. It's a video you can watch on anything on the internet. But Jerry Seinfeld's doing an interview, and this lady comes up. She's blonde hair. She looks kind of dirty. I don't know. She comes up and she's like, "Oh my gosh, can I hug you?" And he has no idea who she is. And he's like, "No thanks."
Yeah, it's
No thanks. And she's like, "I just want a hug. I think you're great." He's like, "Nope."
I think it was
nope,
Kesha.
Please. Yes.
Oh,
that's who it was.
Oh, and it's phenomenal.
He's
It's a
like-
great video.
He's like, "Nope." He holds his hand up like, "Nope, just please leave me alone." And she leaves and he starts laughing. He's like, "Who was that?"
yeah.
It was so funny.
I think he started to get the hint that like she was probably famous, but he didn't care.
He did not care. He's like, "I
Like
don't
at
wanna
first he
hug
thought
you."
it was just some random fan, and he started to like grasp that this is a famous person, but
so funny.
he didn't give a
Do
shit.
you like the show Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee?
I've not watched a lot of it.
I like that show.
I do
like
like it. What I have watched.
I also love his movie Comedian. Jerry Seinfeld Comedian.
I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
I've ever
you should
seen
watch
it.
that movie.
no, I,
You went and saw Jerry Seinfeld do stand up.
We
Yeah.
had tickets to Jerry Seinfeld like this last winter.
You did?
Me and you. Yes.
I don't remember this.
And it turns out we couldn't use them. I sold them on StubHub. Oh no, I gave them away. Oh no, I did. I sold them on StubHub.
I don't remember this.
Yeah, I got tickets and we were gonna go, you, me, and Marley and Amy, and then something came up. None of us could go, so we're just like, man. I think it was in the middle of fall. I think I was combining.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah. Anyway,
great stand up though. You know, I love Jerry Seinfeld. I love
Yeah.
that show, but from a strictly stand up perspective, I've never thought he's the funniest. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot
no,
of
I would
funnier
agree with that
comedians.
totally.
But he was extremely funny. Like I was laughing out loud through all of that show.
I remember-
I had a great time.
Yeah, I remember when you went, and then afterwards you talked about it forever because it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too
Yeah.
because I would want to see him, regardless of his stand up. It's just seeing him.
Yeah,
In person, I
seeing
think,
stand-up
is-
comedy is probably live is probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I've seen Louis C.K. 3 times.
We went once. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
You physically almost feel like you laugh so hard that you like can't
Yeah, it
catch your
hurts.
breath and
Yeah.
it hurts.
yeah.
So,
I saw
we-
Jim Gaffigan one time. That was a lot like that.
that would be good to
yeah,
see.
he's good.
but before Louis C.K. was Hannibal Buress.
Yes.
Oh
And he
my
was
God.
really good
He's
too. That
great.
whole time, for like 3 hours in a row, you're laughing uncontrollably. And like you said, at the end, we were all like, "Oh my gosh, this is like painful. I don't want to laugh anymore."
Yeah.
It was really good. And then, Louis C.K. met his demise.
He's back doing stand-up now.
He is back, but do you really hear about him?
Not like you did.
No.
Not like
No.
you did.
I love his show, Louis.
Yeah, that was a really good,
Yeah.
super dry show.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
that
dry
was-
humor,
yeah, that
but
was
it's
a good
really
show.
funny. Which is Louis C.K. in a nutshell, though, because it felt like you were really watching his life.
Yeah, and then he got replaced on Secret Life of Pets even.
He did?
Yeah,
I
of course
didn't
he
know
did.
that. I didn't really
He got
care for
replaced
Secret
with
Life of-
Patton Oswalt?
He's good, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's great.
Oh, you
like
love
him.
Ratatouille.
I do.
Yeah.
That was my favorite.
You know what
It's
show
my
I
favorite.
really am enjoying, and it's off now for the year, but is AP Bio.
See, and I haven't ever watched that. That's what the guy from...
The guy from
Sunny.
It's Always Sunny, and then
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt is in it.
Oh, he's in it, too?
Yeah.
It's Glenn Howerton, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
It's a good show.
Is it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yes. It's
100%?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like it's like an ABC show or something, right?
It's good. It doesn't feel like an ABC show.
Really?
Yeah, it feels a little more risque for ABC.
Yeah, because I don't feel like that guy could really do anything other than
No,
risky.
no.
Because It's Always Sunny is a hilarious show.
Yeah, it's basically like
I don't know how that show ever made it because of the crazy things that they do.
Oh, and some of the things they get away with, like
Yeah.
the
FX.
the plot. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm glad because
It's got to be hard to start there and then branch out into
yeah, and he's been in a lot of stuff.
networks. You have to be more
I
appropriate.
think it's easier for them because they're all writers.
Yes.
Like
They
not
all
only
wrote
him, but
everything.
the other guy too. And
Charlie Day is,
and the other guy
Yeah.
is even a bigger writer. I think the guy that
McElhenney?
plays Mac.
Mac.
Or whatever.
he's
They're-
married to that chick, right?
Yeah, Caitlin Olsen.
All three of them are in stuff constantly.
She did a show called The Mick that David liked a lot. But
Yeah.
it got canceled.
I wasn't a huge fan of that
actually, she was in a couple episodes of Curb.
She was?
Oh,
never,
she was,
I
yeah.
never realized that the first time
Yep, she
I
was.
watched it. But
She
I
had
was-
like a recurring character.
yeah, she was Cheryl's sister.
Is that who it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always. It
Oh,
would
and she
be
was
hard.
a bitch too in that show.
It
Big
was
time.
like a huge resurgence of Danny DeVito.
Oh yeah.
Like it brought Danny DeVito back into the spotlight because he's so ridiculous.
To the point where it's even weird to hear the name Danny DeVito because you don't
think of it.
think
You think
of
of
that
him as Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good show.
But-
I should have put that in my top
And
10.
they brought him on like maybe he would be more of like the straight character. He's more ridiculous than any of them.
That's what David was
Yeah.
pissed off because we didn't put It's Always Sunny in the
I know.
top 10.
He also
was he?
accosted me and threw rocks at me on the street.
I mean, you can put whatever you want. That would probably be in mine. I like
Oh,
that
really?
show a lot.
Now you're going to tell me I can put whatever I want, but when I put the Good Dinosaur, you're literally like,
I told you I didn't want you to change your opinion that you're just an idiot.
all right, I'll accept that. That's fine.
So speaking of Danny DeVito, I think viewer suggestion next week we might do top 10 and top 10 worst and top 10 best live action villains. Portrayals.
I like that.
Danny-
That's going to take some thinking.
Danny DeVito might make that list. We'll see.
Oh, he will absolutely make my list. 100%.
Yeah,
Maybe not what you think, though. You never
Ooh.
know. You'll have to tune in.
we'll see.
I know Catwoman will be on my list. Both of them. Maybe.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
Well, she's not really the villain.
She is in one of them.
In one of them, she is, but not in the other one.
She's still a villain.
She's not a villain in her own movie. No,
But she's a
Sharon
villain in
Stone
Gotham.
is the villain.
But she's a villain in Gotham City. And that's what I'm going to take it as.
Well, you can't. No.
Why?
She's not a villain in that movie.
But Catwoman in general is a villain.
That movie was not set in the same universe.
You're right. So the other Catwoman, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see.
What's her name?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, the other one.
Halle Berry.
Nope, the other one.
What other one?
In
Anne Hathaway?
Anne
yes,
Hathaway?
Anne Hathaway.
She's gonna make your list.
Maybe.
She's barely in that movie.
She's still a villain, right? Live action villain. There's
Okay.
not that many.
Yeah, there's a lot. TV and movies.
There's like 6.
TV and movies.
TV and movies?
Yeah.
Holy smokes. There's so many to look
You're
through.
gonna have before that next week. You're gonna watch Gotham, the whole series.
The whole series. Okay. You have to do your homework too, there, Mr.
I've seen most of it, so
Yeah, I know, but you also come to the podcast unprepared.
well.
Completely unprepared, riding on the shoulders of the Prowler. Which is me. I don't know if you know that.
I
Carry the
gathered
Prowler.
that.
Yeah, carry the Prowler.
Actually, on the way here, I was listening to 2 episodes ago, which I never listened to, where we were talking about you having a purple cape and a purple beret
Yeah.
and a
Did
little
we start
mustache
talking about Darkwing Duck?
and chewing off the heads of
Darkwing Duck.
chickens.
Yeah.
And
'Cause the
I'm going
main
to add
thing-
on to that is when you turn into the Prowler in a full moon, because
yeah,
that's what we were talking about.
obviously.
You grow like huge mutton chops.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'd look good.
Yeah.
That'd look good on that. That's ridiculous. Well, I think we're done.
All right. That's it.
You think we're done, Tim?
Yeah, I'm not the boss here.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
According to Cash, I am the boss.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Yeah. For
All right.
Snarf Talk,
I'm Jerry.
Chris,
Tim.
See ya.
see you.